All right. So here we are in session 4, I believe. Um Last time our characters went to the amphitheater as they woke up from a hard day's work on the first day after finding out more about the main quest line. They proceeded to the amphitheater after getting a message from their emissaries, kind of redistributed through a network that devotees can use sometimes, especially ones that pay to use so. And at the amphitheater, Haim gave a meeting about how there was an attack on a northern district of towns that kind of came to a head with this village about, a quarter days out in carriage. Swell offered to lead the mission and was accompanied by Yormisk and Tariq. They all went to that mission. Blaze tagged along when Vare kind of pushed him to go onto the mission, and he helped with the rescue effort, particularly. Our characters made it back narrowly, making sure characters lived, and Swell wasn't too great and happy about it, so he took Haim aside and told him that he would meet with him later on in the religious district to kind of go over what had happened in the mission. But he praised Blaze and patted him on the shoulder. Uh, and then we had Borach kind of intro the spiritualists town, met two devotees, Cuford and Disley, which he named Q and or Clue and Dizzy, and he met some of the aristocracy in that town, which kind of it gave him a bit of a confusing message and walked him to the line of the forest and put some people under his workmanship to kind of find out what they could do about it. He met up with Q and headed off to a ruins to obtain a artifact that was told by one of the knights that would get him further and further into the Misty Woods had he completed the artifact. And then we kind of wrapped up our day with all of our characters meeting up, and Grant had gone with Haim to the east to deal with some of the Croc King, a lizard, uh, a lizardkin commander who is plotting attacks on the town from their subterranean lair underneath where the church had been, because some of those caves had opened up due to the explosion. And they had defeated and publicly executed the Croc King of the Amphitheater as night befell our party, some of which left the residential districts to sleep, and two of them in particular, Blaze and Blaze and Grant, are still awake to do things in the dead of night. But before that, we make our way to the Spiritualist District, in which we see Iris has arrived at nighttime from her train stay and had recently walked into the town looking for clues on Borach and met with Disley, who's running Cuford's shop.
Uh, Sorry.
No, you're fine. A lot of preamble.
Good evening.
Oh, hello. Hmm. Do I know
Yes.
you? I feel like I've seen you
No,
somewhere.
well, maybe, but I am looking for someone who kind of is, a little bit buff and drunk a lot.
Hmm.
New to town, just arrived
Oh.
probably a day before me.
Ah. Yeah. Way earlier today, there was somebody who matches some of that. He had come over and talked to me and Q. He was a devotee. You also a devotee?
Yes, I am.
That explains why I remember you. And she looks at you strangely and almost quizzically tilts her head and she puts her finger to her cheek. Um, and she
I
asks
just
if
kind
you
of,
often lie to people.
me? Lie? Not, I don't make a habit out of it, not really.
Hmm. Okay. Well, basically, Cuford wanted me to hold this shop, and they went out on like a dungeon raid or a ruin dive. So
Could you tell me a bit more about the ruins?
I don't know
What was so
anything
interesting?
about it specifically, but Qford said that I should watch the store, and he's normally not that interested, so it probably has something to do with bad people.
All right. Could you point me in the direction, perhaps?
Um, they were led by a knight of the spiritualists. I could only assume the only ruins that I know of that would have been not searched by the spiritualists' nobility would probably be closer to the tabooist land. So
All right.
I think that wouldn't be to your best interest.
Yes. I imagine they'll come back to the shop.
Almost certainly, because Cuford left
Do
his
you think
stuff
I
here.
could help you around the shop or do something to be useful until they arrive?
Hmm. I guess I do have something that I would like you to explain.
Oh, if I can, I'd sure love to help.
All right. Well, you see, I can see people's souls.
Oh. I was kind of like tries to cover her chest with like her coat. How does that what? How does that work exactly?
Well, I just see people who I think are bad people, and then I see people who I think are good people, and sometimes there's some
Oh.
confusing ones like Kiefer. But you're kind of in that realm too.
Oh. Well, that's how does hmm. How does it look like if you can see my soul? Is it like all jumbly? Is it or is it kind of like
It has sort of
colored?
a darkened interior and a bright exterior.
Ah, very interesting.
I get the impression that you might have ulterior motive.
Well, not for finding Borach, so well the drunk that came in.
Well, I'll trust you, but not
Oh, thank you.
because of what you're saying.
Actions do speak louder than words. Can I do anything to prove that I'm not don't have any ill intent?
Well, given that you have been mostly truthful and that I agree that you're not trying to hurt Borach, who I don't know very well anyway, and Borach is particularly not okay. I will
He
choose
seems
to
a bit
believe you.
stressed
Well, he's certainly a
or
lot.
like sad.
I don't know. I think he's angry, but
Yeah, yeah, I definitely see that as well.
well, I guess I would say that if you're willing, in the north part of this guild district here, there's a man who walked out with Borach at one point, and he's not a good person. So
Oh,
I would say that there is a non-zero chance, in fact, a perfect 50-50 chance that he will attempt to arrest Borach.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Did did he do something to warrant that?
Yeah. He's like looking into something the that my descendant was in charge of. And that's enough of a reason for him.
That's odd.
I agree.
Hmm.
He is not a good person, but that's not for me to do because that would become a big problem in the town.
Not something for you to do. You mean like? Do you mean kill him?
Yeah, I could, but my descendant, was the previous mayor, and he took over for him after he went missing. So it would look bad for me to just do something about it. Not that I care that much, but I do care about the people here, and most of them are good people, and I'd rather they not have a terrible time.
So, you want me to kill him?
If that's the only way, then yes. But otherwise, maybe just just make sure that he can't arrest Borach, I guess.
All right. I'll see what I can do. Interesting request.
Well, it is what it is. Well, I have to finish up a something that I have to do. Could you watch the stall for me?
Oh, sure.
And if
Is anyone gonna want to buy anything? Do you have like a note?
just tell them
Prices?
no.
Oh, sure.
But Q will be mad about that, but like just act like you did try.
I gotcha.
And yeah, I need to perform my nightly stroll. I'll be back. But
Do you
yeah,
like a nightly
mhm.
stroll? Was that just like kind of scouting the area?
It's like that. I like the night and like walking around. It's fun.
Well, do take care. Just might be people around.
I appreciate that, and I don't have to worry about those people. But they have to worry about me. And she skips away into
Huh.
the moonlight.
Okay. I'll slide behind the stall and just kind of nervously tap my fingers on the stall.
All right, you do so, and eventually our two characters do end up back there, and Buford is
Oh,
confused as to why you're manning the stall.
hi. I give him one of my business cards with my long name on it, but you can just call me Iris. I was here just watching it while your friend went off on a stroll.
Hmm.
And Borach, I'm actually looking for you. There's someone in town who's planning on arresting you.
What the hell? Who the hell are you?
Yeah. Iris. We were in the amphitheater together when it was attacked. You were drunk. You may not remember me.
That Eerie. That's your name?
Iris.
I'll just call you Eerie. Look, Eerie,
Sure?
who is exactly... Can you fill in context? Because I'm
I
kinda
guess
tired
someone's
right
not
now.
really thrilled with what you're doing in town, investigating and whatnot.
Okay, then why are you telling me this?
Well, I'm just letting you know. Don't want you to get arrested because I have other questions for you and things that might help with what you're doing.
I don't like this. Okay. Okay, Clue.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Um. Hmm. Giving my thoughts on the situation, I think it's likely that an aristocrat would want to arrest you. I would be unclear as to why they would do it immediately unless they had spies. But we didn't take anybody who could give that information. Um, could you perhaps roll me dexterity to see if anybody followed us?
Sure.
You are pretty sure nobody followed you. So, yeah.
Okay, well... I mean, I was sussing out that fucking blonde prick who gave me a glass instead of just a full flask. Like, who does that anyway?
Like from their pocket?
Yeah, like it was just straight up from the, like they got a glass. Like,
That's very odd indeed.
yeah, just give me the damn bottle. Anyway, I don't know exactly what his intentions are, but I guess the fucker has intentions because he just pointed me where I needed to go. Without question. So I was already suspicious of that in the first place.
Yeah, we could mount a counter raid tonight if we think he's going to become a problem. I assume if Disley left you the stall, that kind of implies to me that that she expects you to do something wrong, and that's why she's not here. Because then she can't be blamed for it.
Oh, okay. I get that, I suppose.
Well, I mean
But
wrong
no
in the
one came
town
by.
sense, not wrong in the...
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Like, if you
actually.
cause a fire, but she wasn't around, then it's not her fault.
Right. That's actually kind of a smart idea. Not the fire.
Man, when I get my hands on that fucker, Prez, whatever his name, why won't we just trap him in an alleyway and shoot him in the back of the fucking head? Maybe that'll just fix everything.
I could just send in a little soldier and explode them, and he could die in the explosion.
Oh shit! You're not lying.
Iris pulls out a small little doll with like yarn hair and in a little pink dress. Yeah, I can animate this and send it with a bomb.
Oh fuck it! Why won't we just do that? Boom, story's done.
Sure, if that's what we want.
She pulls
Dizzy
out...
or wherever the fuck she is at.
She's on a stroll, which means that she's letting us do whatever we want. She's kind of like a protector of the village, so if she's not around, then it's not her fault.
Oh.
Well, Dizzy told you, right, Erie?
Yes, yeah.
Well, we need more information. Is it the
Well,
whole...
I know there's just the individual she's not a fan of near the guild, north of the guild's district.
Yeah, I assume if he's out, then worst case she could campaign for somebody to replace him, so at least it'd be like mostly fixed, you know what I mean? I think he's pretty strong though, according to my information. He starts pulling out some documents from behind his stall, and he ruffles through some papers and he goes, he should be a duoist.
Oh. Well, I have 2 explosions ready.
I have a bullet in my gun.
Yeah, he walks away from the explosions.
Could be enough, right?
Buford pulls back his like sleeve, and on it is like this like kind of, it looks almost like a watch, but it flips open like a pocket watch, and in it is like a mirror, and he like channels into it, and you can kind of see an image, and it does seem to be from within the politician's office. So he's got surveillance set up essentially inside there. And he's like, well, I think we could use this, and if my remote viewers from this watch would help you navigate your doll inside the office to blow it up, that might be enough.
That
might
would
just
be
have to
very
pass
useful.
some stealth checks.
We're all cool with the like her pulling out a creepy fucking doll and saying, "Yeah, I can just blow him up with this." We're all cool with that. We're all just.
That is good ass, bro.
Word.
Yes.
Word.
Fucking with Iris right now.
All right, well, yeah. Roll a couple stealth checks. I'll let you look at my watch to essentially see where they're walking.
Sure. All right. So stealth is what?
They're small, so I'll give them like a +20. And then you just roll D100 +20. They don't have any other bonus stealth effects unless you put a tag in them with extra stealth.
All right. So I'll animate my first doll, and it kind of like, I drop it on the ground and it twitches to kind of life and just stands up straight. And I slap on my explosion tag behind it, waiting to ignite it until it gets closer.
All right.
So that's the first
You pass
one.
the first stealth check as it kind of walks itself into the guild's district without being detected. It starts to get to the building's entrance, and you'll need to roll me another check.
Is there a table in his office that it can go under to like?
Yeah. It has like there's like a desk. He has like 2 banners on the side, 2 windows, a desk. He's behind it working on some paperwork as it is, but it's up a staircase.
Alright.
So you have to enter like a
Okay.
foyer. There's some guards there. Go up a staircase. Go under a door into his desk and then blow it up. That's probably what you'd
I'm
have to
just
do.
picturing the little doll like climbing up the steps, like pushing itself up on the stairs. Okay, here's my second one. Oh no! It just falls back down.
All right, so your doll tries to get through the door, and somebody he kind of notices it, but in a panic,
Oh.
you kind of run your doll, kind of along the building to like the side of it, maybe to
Alright, maybe
lure
there's
the
a
guard.
different way?
Well, no, the guard's following it, so it's just trying to get out of its vision
Okay.
to see if it'll follow.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll have to make some decisions with this doll at this point. Or does this doll have any other features from your tags that are enchanting it?
Well, I put the explosion one only on it.
Well, sure, but the dolls themselves have tags in them.
Oh. Oh
Yeah,
yes, yes.
Yeah. To tell
Oh.
you what they have.
Yeah, I mean I have a flight one.
All right. Well, we
A
could say
Hermes.
it's got flight. So, do you want it to like fly onto the roof so that the guard doesn't notice it?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Just roll me a quick check. It'll succeed the flight no matter what. It's about if he notices it.
Okay, so it's
Same
Dex,
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
is it okay? Same thing.
Yeah. No, he doesn't notice it. He turns the corner like with his weapon drawn. He's like, what? And then he's like, he rubs his eyes like he's like crazy. Like, oh my god. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. And he like walks back to the doorway. But now that your doll's on the roof, you get the idea that maybe you could sneak into a window on the 2nd floor, but not quite the one that he's working in, because that would make noise.
Yeah. I'll try that then.
All right, roll me that. All right, you do find a window that you can stealth through. It isn't closed, so it just slips in.
Oh, that's good.
You get to the outside of his study, where it is tightly locked with double doors. How do you plan to get your doll in?
It's behind the locked door?
Yeah. It only really opens if he
wonder-
lets people in, which you assume is through incantation.
Can I, like, does Qford's mirror help? Could I, like, study the door from his mirror?
You could see the inside of the door from his mirror, if that's what you want.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's, like, any weak spots or, like, if there's
That's
something I can do
good.
to
Roll me-
disenchant it.
Intelligence Dex.
Intelligence and Dex. Nice.
Alright. Yeah, you can tell that this door's model, the hinges aren't that good. And
So I could get the doll to, like, pull the hinge, like, pin
it's like he
out of
wants
it?
the doors, he wanted the doors to open away from him, but that meant that the doors hinges were on the outside, not the inside of his
Yeah.
office. So you find that you could probably disconnect the hinge on the bottom with the doll, and then like kind of
Yeah,
slide
and
in
then squeeze through.
between. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he
Okay,
probably
I'll try
wouldn't
that.
notice it. Yeah,
Do
so
I gotta
just
roll
just
for
roll me
stealth
just roll me a dex check. It's
For
not
myself?
yeah, and we'll just have the doll do it. So you
No.
start to unfasten this pin, and as you do, you drop it, and it makes a noise, and your
Ooh.
doll kind of freaks out and needs to roll dex to see if anybody heard it.
So my Dex again?
Yeah, just dex. I just want to see if anybody heard this. They didn't. You got away with it. Roll me another dex check to get the pin, or I mean, just to sneak in. So a sneak
Okay.
check actually is fine too. This
Oh,
is a
okay,
111. You're fine. 111. You get through, and you're able to slide underneath his desk and rig the explosive.
I was just sweating a little bit.
So I have a question. It's fine if this is the case. Is this a super explosive tag or a normal one?
Just my normal explosion.
Okay. That is fine. Let me double check.
Oh wait, Well, it's my expansion 1. It just says expansion 1 on it, so.
Yeah, you have expansion 1 on it.
Okay.
You have
I don't know if that's
combust,
bigger.
explode. It is bigger.
Okay, then yeah.
Okay. So it's a normal one though. The main
Yeah.
difference is if it was a super, it would blow up the whole room. So it depends on like if you want the extra insurance, but a lot of public outcry, or if you think
Yeah.
the explosion will be good enough and it's close enough to him, which I would agree it's close.
Yeah, I think Iris wouldn't want to disturb the entire city,
Okay.
so
All right.
probably just a normal one.
I'm just gonna roll 2 checks for him. None of these will stop the explosion from hitting him. They're
Okay.
mostly to do with what he wouldn't have worn in his study. So this first one, if it is above 50, he took his coat off.
Okay.
He did. This one, if it is above 50, he didn't. He's not wearing his ring because it chafes his skin. Okay, he's wearing his ring, but not his coat.
Okay.
So his coat
Alright.
provides him 20 flat defense. He doesn't have that. He has a ring. The ring isn't that good against explosions. I'm not lying. So we'll blow him up. So you hear an explosion go off. It's not so loud, but you guys are kind of close, relatively speaking, to this office, which is across this wall.
Yeah.
So you hear the explosion just kind of, right? It's like a little earthquakey feel,
Ugh.
and
That's a little
then
louder.
you hear people freaking out a little bit on the outside of here. You hear some words. Do you guys want to like try to listen in on what's happening?
I will.
Okay. Borach, would you care or not?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, both roll me a dex check. Borach's paying a lot of attention because he really hates this guy. And Iris is, like, she covered her ears because of the explosion, so she's not quite hearing what everybody's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Borach hears a thud as if the body of the blonde-haired prick, as you call him, hitting this wall. And you've heard a lot of bleeding before. You get the impression that he is bleeding kind of a lot, but that you might want to extra kill him before people arrive. Borach, you can, if you'd like, try to make a climb check on this wall to finish him.
Okay.
Or you can just break the wall. But breaking the wall will make it pretty clear that somebody came from this side. So it's up to you. Do you want to do it kind of, I'm busting this wall, or I'm going to climb?
You could also throw in my dolls if you want.
That's probably not enough, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Namely because he just doesn't know exactly where on the other side of the wall without sight.
Yeah, that's fair.
So do you want to basically perform a destruction on this wall, in which case you don't have to roll, you'll get through the wall? Or do you want to climb it, which has a check? But you won't be able to be followed.
Hold on, y'all. I'm going in. Yeah, let me go ahead and climb.
Alright.
Oh. Oh, wait.
Hmm?
I mean, do you need help? Can I help you with somehow? Like, do you want to stand on my shoulders?
You have a tag for it as well, right?
I think I do. I have
Yeah,
a
look at it.
acceleration tag.
That
don't
has to
think
do with friction, which is bad, I think, in this case.
Yeah. I don't have anything
So-
I think that could help right now.
Yeah, you would have to write a new one, I'd say.
Yeah.
She can help by like helping your jump go a little higher, but these walls are kind of tall. What's your jump and what's your climb?
Let me see.
It should be in your substats.
Yeah, it's well, I guess is it 13.6?
Yeah, 13.6 jump. Let's say she can give you 5, so 18. You're not quite at the top of this 50-foot wall. Or it's not 50. It's 50 meters converted is 3 times, so 48. You're like not quite there, so you have to do one climb to get over. Even with the bonus. So let's say you perform one climb check. That seems chill. Roll me climb. It's just in this case, just a strength check to hold on. It's not too hard. These walls are very plant-like. There's plants nearby and stuff. Yeah, you get there. So you climb the ledge at the top and you vault over the wall, and you kind of, as you vault over, you see that he's kind of below you and he's bleeding and he's like grabbing his wrist or something. And so you're coming down from, 50 feet up. You're plummeting towards him. What do you do?
Can I, you said he's grabbing his wrist, or like
Yeah,
looking
he's
at his
in a
wrist?
sitting position, grabbing his wrist. He's bloody against the wall.
Okay. I immediately pull out my handgun.
All right. Be a
And
quick draw.
yeah, and let me take aim at his head and shoot.
All right. Roll me a dex check. I'll give you a mild disadvantage, but essentially you just roll it with dex -5.
Dex -5.
Yeah, just because you're falling.
Okay.
That clears easy.
He's so fucking tough. This thing is so fucking tough.
He's like, hold my bag. He like throws it at Qford. He like starts fucking vaulting over the wall. He just pulls out his handgun.
Oh, wow.
Boom. You hear it ring out as his head, he drops onto the ground. You land next to him with a thud and you roll to not take as much impact. You kind of ruffle through his pockets and pull whatever good things he has on him, on his immediate vicinity, and you make a break for getting over this wall once more. Just roll me one more climb check.
Okay, and that's
Just
what should I
strength.
call it? Strength again.
Yeah, you clear. You just
Nice.
boom. You just boom, 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 roll right over the wall, and you kind of land here. You're like, somewhat exhausting because you had to do it really, really, really quick. But yeah, the guards kind of arrive at the scene. You kind of hear it from behind the wall, and they're shouting some things like, "Where is he?" And there he is. I found him. And they get over to him and they check him, and they're like, "He's dead," And you're kind of hearing this, and you move a little bit further from the wall, and they think it was a remote terrorist attack, and he died due to shrapnel in the bomb. So they don't get the impression that he was shot through the head. They get the impression, based off what you're hearing from beyond this wall, that there's fragmentation in the grenade that went off.
Iris gives a quick clap, little tiny clap. That was really impressive. Climbing over the wall like that.
Yeah, it was really nothing. All right, it's done. I look at Q for it.
Oh, that's useful. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just looking at him saying it's done.
Well, congratulations. What did you grab from him?
What did he grab?
You pull out the various things that you kind of threw in your pockets really quick. And show him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you pull out his ring that was on his hand,
Oh.
the watch that he was checking, and this document that was ruffled in his clothing. Rare lore is the hardest roll here for the loot table, so that is kind of funny. But rare lore, well, okay. All right. So the ring, I'll go over the various things. So the ring of Seferia is a ring of Oberon's daughter. It's like a fairy king.
Oh, wow.
Oberon.
Yeah.
Persona.
It grants the wearer a luck bonus. 5. There you go.
That's useful.
Yeah. And then The watch. The watch of distro has a Blam, that's the watch. And then the rare lore is the let's see here. Here's there you go. Those are the 3 items. I'll individually add the thing as well. All right. But you obtained all 3 of those items. You may add them, of course.
I take the ring and then I walk up to Iris and then I hand it out as if I'm giving it to her. And I say, "Here, take it.
Are you
I'm
sure?
paying you back for all the things you've done."
Iris takes it. Thank you.
It's the least I can do. And then
Yeah, very kind of you.
then I take the diary and I hand it to Qford. You seem like you might need this.
Should have accounts of your father in it as well. He starts ruffling through it. He rolls an int check, which for him is quite good. Yes. He finds the entry about your father's situation. He kind of reads it out to you. So it's the last documented case in this, but it looks to be that the mayor was looking into your father due to some case that had happened with a tribe of sigilists.
Iris kind of peeks over his shoulder, trying to look at the entry.
Yeah, he lets it be easier to read for you. And he kind of reads out that he thinks the essentially somebody in our clan went against the wishes of your father. He murdered a tribe of sigilists. And he met a lot of flack for it from Dosha, apparently. And this was given in a spiritual message to the mayor. He traveled up north to detain your father's group. And your father fought them off, but eventually took a mission that led to him being trapped in the Misty Woods as compensation for his wary teammates who had done the crime. It doesn't document exactly who did it, unfortunately. But
So
apparently
you're
we might
saying
need to look into who
that
betrayed your
the-
father.
not the teammates that are in the Misty Woods?
It's hard to say. Maybe he's trapped there as well, but it doesn't document any names. So he could have left after he caused the issue. He could have been forced by Borach's father into this mission. There's not enough here to go off of, but what we do know is that I think this was in particular something that he didn't want getting outed, because maybe it puts the previous mayor in too much good light. I didn't
So
even
you're
know he was able
saying
to receive that. Huh?
you're saying the previous mayor detained the group of sigilists? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, the group of your father. But the sigilists were murdered by somebody in your father's band.
Oh, so saboteur. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
correct.
Speaking of, I have this book. She offers the book she got in town to Borach.
Hmm?
It
What's
talks about the
this?
saboteurs.
Oh, that's a first
A
edition.
friend of yours, yeah, kind of helped me get it.
You know something about this, Q-Ford?
That should be documenting the saboteur's mission log. That might have been sold by somebody in my family or something to that library in the capital.
Ah, damn. It's too much pieces to this puzzle.
Seems like
Well,
quite a few.
at the least, it should have a date in it. May I? And he holds his hand out.
Of course.
He
Knock yourself
starts
out.
folding through the papers and he goes, "Yep, exactly." So it appears that this all happened approximately 25 years ago in the month of Nihilus. So almost 25 years to this day at this point. No, we're only 15 days out, or like 13 days out from Nihilus. That's tragedy. He hands the back it Tyrus and Borach, you complete your first personal quest
Nice.
as you've obtained all of the pieces. The mystery of your dad's history. You obtained the secrets of your lineage, a quest point, and 2 level ups.
So, sorry, but if they're in the Misty Woods, does that mean they're alive?
Likely, yeah. The Misty Woods keeps people kind of. I mean, as long as they were elderly when they were sent there, there's no documentation of monsters that live there that can stay there.
All right, thanks.
Of course. Um,
Uh,
yes.
Borach looks at Iris. Wait, before we go any further, he pulls out his handgun and points it at her.
She just holds her hands behind her back.
Why?
Why, what?
Why are you looking into this? Who are you?
Well, it's a bit personal, but I am a sigilist, and this is seeming to relate to me.
Hmm.
Does that kind of give you a little insight?
No, not really. Anyone can say they're a sigilist. I need more.
I use tags. I mean,
That's
my
true.
name is. I'm 123. I don't know how much more I can.
That's not what I meant. So why are you going into this, looking for this information specifically? I need to know answers now.
All right. I'm kind of looking for the people who killed my team.
Your team.
Yes, my
He
team.
puts down his gun. Okay, explain.
Well, my home is very far away from here, and my team and I were exploring in some tunnels over 25 years ago. We came across a group of psychos, and a lot happened, and they were killed.
Hmm. So you have a stake in this as well. You hearing this, Q-Ford?
I am. Must be part of the expedition group that was taken out, according to the book and the diary.
Yes, sounds like it.
Then you guys are both after the same guy, because he's the one that killed them. He's also the guy who made your father enter the Misty Woods.
Well, this doesn't... You know what? I'm gonna need a beer break. Fuck. I'm so fucking thirsty.
If you don't mind, I'd like to join you with that.
Yeah, we can go to Forest Sanctuary. I can close up shop really quick, and I'll pay for your guys' drinks.
Are you sure? That's
Yeah, it's been a rough
awfully
day for you
kind.
guys. I mean,
Yes.
I didn't have to
Wait,
kill
you're
that
saying
much.
beer's on you?
Yeah, they're on me.
Fuck yeah. This is why I like you, Qford.
Yes, of course. Anything.
Oh my god, he called him by his actual name.
Disney makes it back, and she's like, "Oh, I was oh, nobody's here. Well, better for me." And she just heads off to the residential district to fall asleep. And you guys talk into the night while drinking. And we move back over to our other characters in Algargor, the capital. I still don't know why it does this, where it picks the wrong one. I'll deal with that in the future. Oh, so weird. Okay. Well, alright. So, yes, we arrive back at Algargor. And, in the night, Vare tells Blaze, "Hey man, good job on that mission." He pats you on the back really hard.
Thanks, bro.
I really appreciate when you do the right thing and you save those people. You know, that's cool and stuff.
Hey, man, when have I never done the right thing?
Well, a lot of times.
Blaze
At
just
least
kind of
not
like gives him
according
a
to me.
like a little punch on the shoulder, like a weak one, like a little friendly one.
He punches you back and you take 5 stamina damage.
Poor Blaze.
Fuck, man, can you really not, dude? Why are you so swole? Why you gotta do that to me?
Well, that's as light as I can go, man. You know me.
How much do you bench again?
Bench.
Yeah.
I don't bench anything, man.
Okay.
You stack weights on top of
Uh,
me and my body doesn't buckle.
Right. Yeah. Anyways,
The bench is for people who
cheers.
have to push against the ground, not for those that could stand tall and move the weights above the skies.
Yeah.
You'll learn, Blaze. You know what? As a reward, you know that place I've told you that I'll never take you?
It sounds familiar.
I've decided you deserve to go. And I'll buy you one thing.
That's awfully kind of you.
Yeah, as long as it's not in the red light district.
I don't think I was planning to go there.
Well, that's
This
good to
time,
hear.
anyways.
Wait, hey man, you gotta calm down. He takes you to the night market, which is an underworld market that is subterranean to the guilds district of this town in particular. And there, after entering, you guys move a little bit further in, and Vare meets Mercurial, where he pats him on the shoulder and he gets a slip of paper and he hands him a bag of gold. And he says, "Don't worry about that. Forget about it." He walks past Mercurial. So, Blaze.
But totally out of character, Blaze just kind of looks at Mercurial and thinks to himself, "This looks like the persona Skathath from Gaelic mythology. I don't know why."
This looks like
Anyways,
Char from Gundam.
Hunter.
What the heck?
So you arrive there, and he starts showing you around about how, like, you can buy really hard to get goods here, including a better gun. You notice it in your peripherals as you're walking by many of the stalls, and he's giving you a rant about how the night market works.
ooh,
He's like, "Yeah, you can get
shiny.
drugs over here," and then he sees your eye kind of shift to
I
a
can
gun.
get drugged anytime. I can get drugged anytime there. Do you remember who my dad is?
I'll never forget.
the deep sigh.
I'll never forget.
Did you two meet or something? I feel like, or do I just talk about him that much?
Look, I've met him one too many times.
And how many times is that? Once?
Yes. You know how your father is. It's not worth meeting him. Your mother is lovely, but your father's... He's not quite the guy I would want to hang out with.
Listen, from what I understand about my dad, he was troubled as a kid.
That doesn't excuse him.
I mean, does it ever?
No, so I don't know why you brought
I'm
it
just
up.
saying. I'm just saying, you know, like.
All right.
I want the
Well,
gun.
you want that gun, right?
You bet your fucking ass I do.
All right. He throws a bag of money at the guy. It's clearly overpaying, and he goes, "Take it."
Hey, that's hey man. Yeah, he daps him up. He just goes in for a dap.
He daps you back, and you don't take damage.
Oh.
My brother.
Well,
And then
you
he
wish.
grabs the gun and does like a little spinny, like little thing, and then like holsters it.
Good. You know, a man needs a good weapon. And he flicks.
I think it'd be
the-
incredibly funny if like he tried to holster it, but it was like too big or something. It just didn't fit, and he's like, oh, shit. Okay, oh, guess I gotta find a new holster for it too.
Nah, you're fine. You're fine. But you know, I appreciate what you're doing, and I want you to get a good night's sleep because I have some information that tomorrow's gonna be rough for you, man.
Rough how? Do I have another like
You have a trial coming
labor?
up.
I have a labor. Okay, great. That's amazing.
But it'll be
Great.
good. And he takes you, you know, just to walk past the red light district a little bit. And he's like, you know what? Just remember, don't come here or your uncle will kill you. Remember that, okay?
Uncle Pimp?
Yes.
Why would Pimp kill me?
Do not understand. He doesn't want his nephew running down the wrong path. It triggers him.
But he's like such a sweet uncle. Like, what do you mean? He's
Yeah, that's why you don't want to get on his bad side. Did you ever hear about the Orc Valley incident?
I actually have. Yes, Kikia told me about it.
Then you'll know. You don't want to get on his bad side when it comes to filial matters.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Wait, what is he up to then right now?
Why would I know?
Well, it sounds like you have an idea about why he'd be triggered about this, so I figured it has something to do with family, like you said.
Yeah, he doesn't like. Have you heard of your great uncle? He's quite a scumbag, and
Great
he used to
uncle. Wait,
sleep
is
around
this-
a lot.
Is this douche?
That was what they called him. But either way, it was a lot. It was a lot of problems he created around. And, you know, Pimp wanted to live up under his shadow for a time, but it didn't go too well. And Pimp realized that lifestyle is horrible, and it's bad for people, it's bad for everybody around. And he met Kikia, and his life changed. And since that day, he's sworn down the right path, and I'm making sure you don't fall down the dark path. So whenever
No,
you
that's-
think about this red light district, think about how Pimp will kill you if he ever sees you here. And use that as
Okay,
motivation to become stronger. So that one day you can make your own choices.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. So you're saying I shouldn't go looking after big booty bitches?
I'm saying that only once you're strong enough to make that decision for yourself without getting killed by your uncle should you either
like-
look for them or decide to follow his advice.
But like, can Uncle Pip even kill me? I'm kind of like, you know,
Oh, you don't want to know.
invincible. Title card comes up.
You do not want to know.
Yeah, you know what? It sounds like I don't want No.
Great to hear. And he walks you past Mercurial and he goes, you know what? Go ahead and ask Mercurial a thing or two. I'm gonna make my way home.
Oh, sounds good. And thanks again, Ver. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Just make sure you sleep well and don't fail that quest or I'll hate you.
I sure hope I don't. I don't need another curse.
Hi, Blaze.
He gives him a fist bump as he walks off, and then he goes to Mercurial and he's like, "So, know anything about this cool gun I just got?"
Yeah. I know plenty. Are you asking that on the house?
Oh, he looks in his pockets.
I'm just messing around, man. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an Inventor Mark III pistol. It looks pre-enchanted, but it might not quite fit you. But it is stronger than what you're holding.
Okay. It might not quite fit me, so like, but how do you mean? Like, do I need additional
You're not skilled
skills?
enough.
I'm not skilled enough. I see. So like, I don't have the right knowledge on how to use this thing. Is that what you're saying?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta find an inventor to teach me how to use this.
An inventor would work, but any master of gunsmanship could.
Oh, my grandpa.
According to what I know, he doesn't live here, so probably somebody else.
That is fair. It'd take too long to get to him. Man, I wish I had Uncle Pim's Jogan.
Yeah, it would be pretty useful to have a Jogan, I suppose, if you wanted to talk to your grandfather. Grandfather even dead?
Okay, well, my grandfather? I thought he was invincible.
Then why would you find him in your Jogan?
Huh. Well, he's undead. I don't know if that counts.
As fascinating as this is, I don't want to think about it. So, do you want to pay for any sort of information that you've been curious about?
Yeah, actually, I do. Let me take a look here. What do you know about, You know what? Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the guild hall. How much will that run me?
Might need to be a little bit more specific, but probably not that much. Public establishment.
Could you tell me, the fastest way to get into their good graces?
That's the pistol. How to get in their good graces?
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy. Give them really, really important monster parts.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I guess the other question is, do you know where there is an inventor or a gunmaster in town?
In town? That's expensive. But there is one.
Yeah.
I'll let you know that.
Okay. How much will that run me?
I'll take 5 for the previous question, and I'll take 30 for this question.
35, gotcha. Excuse me, by the way.
No problem.
Let's see. 12, 30, so 82. There you go. Cool. 35.
Yeah. So there's one right here in the slums. Ask for a man with an eye patch.
Man with an eye patch.
Yeah. I
Sounds
think
familiar.
he's going by an alias.
Nalius. Cool.
But I believe you use the code word cross out. He'll let you in.
Cross out?
Yeah.
Cross out. Writing that down. Alright. Thank you. And is this man an inventor? Tabooist?
See
Gunmaster?
for yourself.
Cool. Alright, well thank you for your time, Mercurial.
Of course. And take care, okay?
I'll do my best.
Also, let me roll a dice. 1 second. Do you know where Iris is?
Do I I as a player or I as a character?
Character.
Um
In character, you did see her
Good
leave for the
question.
train yard last night. Or
Okay, I was
last night.
I would assume she'd be around there then.
You tell him that she left on the train. Is that what you say?
Are you asking me or Maggie?
You. I mean, it's all your character. You know that
Yeah,
she
yeah.
left on a train to the Spiritualist District last night. You know that information in character.
Mm-hmm. I suppose like Blaze could deduce it, but I don't think he'd be able to GPS locate her.
No. You would just say she said something about leaving on the train. Do you want to tell him that?
Yeah. Oh, tell Mercurial that? Oh, Mercurial was asking me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll say it last. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Last I knew, then she was heading on a train for the Spiritualist Village. Why do you ask?
That's great information. I respect that. I'll give you one on the house, okay?
Oh. Just a question on the house?
No, I'll give you a answer on the house to a question you don't know you had.
A question I don't know I have. So does
Yeah.
that mean I can ask it now, or do I have to wait until later?
No, I'll tell it to you right now.
Okay.
You're gonna have to kill flying creatures tomorrow for your trial.
Oh, sick. Okay, the gun's gonna be coming in helpful then. Okay, yeah, before I go to bed, I want to try to track down this gun master then.
Sure. I recommend you find some way to hit something that moves way too fast.
Okay.
That's what I'll offer
Okay.
you.
Way too fast.
So, maybe bring that up to your gun guy.
I will. Thank
All
you.
right. Take care. He disappears into the shadows.
Blaze was about to socially awkward go for a dap up, but then Mercurial disappeared in the shadows. He's like, oh, and then he just kind of rubs his hand through his hair. He's like,
Yeah.
cool.
All right, you leave the night market. During this time, Grant, arrives well before Heim does, but he arrives at the guild hall to talk with staff about the previous mission that he had completed.
Yeah, so I will I'm gonna head up to the people at the desk. And obviously first I'll turn in the quest for guild points. For my fucking sword.
Ah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then the person that I handed the quest into, I'm gonna look at them and be like, hey, you got a second? I got a question to ask you.
Of course.
Alright, so, he sees him pull out like a small notepad, and he starts flipping through pages. Hold on. So about, I don't know, maybe about 18 hours ago, you sent us on a quest to go to the city hall. Deal with that
Oh.
whole situation.
That is correct. Somebody in the staff had done so. A young lady.
So, why, do you guys... I'm assuming that quest was put up by Heim?
That would be correct.
Do you guys have any extra information regarding that quest? Because I got somebody that I want to ask you guys about, but if you don't know, then I won't waste my time.
I see. Extra information about the quest.
Like, do you guys just happen to know more about it, or were you only aware of what Haim submitted?
Ah. We know a little bit more about it in pertinence to the building's selling rights.
Okay, there we go. So when we went in there, we found quite a bit of information on a, what was his name? A Daryl, I believe.
Ah.
And his relationship to the Archbishop.
Let's see.
So, I guess my main question, more or less, is, do you guys know anything about Daryl at all?
I see. I guess that's fair. Daryl.
Government official was working with the Archbishop.
Yeah, of course.
Got killed. They covered it up.
Yeah.
Part of why the city hall was closed.
According to your rank and the information we have on file and the fact that you completed that mission, so your clearance is higher than normal. I believe what we know about Daryl is that he was murdered and buried somewhere nearby. Likely in the slums.
That makes sense, yeah.
He knew something of the Archbishop's plans, but maybe not his current location. And the city hall had some documentation. Time needed it looked into. And he sent the guild request in, and then you guys completed it. According to what we know, Daryl is currently off record, and we don't have a mayor to replace him. We stopped doing mayors after that because they're just corrupted.
Makes sense. Yeah, generally speaking, yes.
I believe that's what we have on file.
Do you have on file anybody you know of who may know more about Daryl or want to know more about Daryl?
Late wife is gone, but in terms of siblings or other people who are close to him, there is one such person.
Okay.
Ignoring Mercurial, of course.
Oh, Mercurial. Oh, good option. You're right. Mercurial would want to know more about this. Ooh.
But in terms of normal people, there should be a wizard's shop right around in the south here in town. And I believe he would often visit that shop. Whether it was to meet the shopkeeper is beyond my knowledge.
Okay. A wizard shop, huh? So, does it happen to align with the Sorcerer's Globe by any chance?
A little bit, but not with anybody of pertinent membership.
That's a risk I'll just have to take. All right. Well, that's about all I got. Other than, submitting the quest for the guild points.
Of course.
I guess I'll, be on my way.
Well, thank you.
And I will head out.
All right. Meet Haim on the way out. Hello.
Hi. I just turned in the quest. The giant lizard guy. Yeah. I also got some information related to the City Hall quest. might I'll go visit that shop tomorrow, but I guess I'll be heading to the night market a little bit.
Hmm.
Because I gotta ask Mercurial some stuff. I got some information for him.
Fair. I just got back from talking to Swell. He was yapping for a while.
He does seem like the type that does that.
Yeah, apparently the mission went pretty badly, according to him.
Did it?
Yeah. Blaze did great,
Well,
but I think
Blaze did great.
more people did than he might have thought was relevant. He's hoping that he's gonna train some more militiamen, be a bit stronger for next time. They didn't get to everybody.
Gotcha. That's unfortunate. You know, I would have went, but I got to get my fucking sword.
I understand. I mean, we can't stretch everybody that thin. Like if you had headed out and then I didn't have the people for the Croc quest, it would have just gone as poorly. So I think it's
true.
important to use us where we can be most useful.
There's multiple threats.
Exactly.
Can't be using that many people on all of them.
I agree.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head on out to the night market. You can join if you want, but if you got business elsewhere, then you know.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna head over to the guild district and sleep probably.
All right. Well, then I'll see you later, Heim.
All right. Take care.
And I will take my ass on to the night market.
All right. You went to the night market, and only a bit in, you see Mercurial posted up.
I'll walk up to Mercurial, and I'm gonna be like, "Yo, Mercurial, what's good? It's been a little bit."
Grand. Yeah.
All right. Well, I won't waste your time. So, we went on a little quest to the city hall recently. I'm sure you heard about it. But what you might not have heard about is what was inside that building. So, we went in there and we got a little bit of documentation, if you will.
I
A
see.
little bit of documentation on the connection between a currently deceased Mr. Darrell, the former mayor, and his connection to the Archbishop. Would you happen to know anything related to Darrell? Of course, I'll give you some of the information I got, but I'd like to know a little bit more about him.
Darrow knows a man named Svel. Svel.
Not to be confused with the asshole with the orphans.
Yeah, not the religious guy.
Okay.
Svel Dice Trope is a
Okay.
wizard. He formerly ran a shop
Okay.
in the west, or the eastern, southeastern gate, but he gave it to his son. You could still get a hold of him through his son, but I won't lie. With what I've been hearing, you'd have a better chance of holding a meeting for the shops district, like as a group, because that might call back Svel into town, because he attends all the meetings for the shop district, and I've heard you have a little bit of a thing with Scrapyard, so I'm sure you can get the meeting held. But I think it might save you a good portion of time to just put the meeting on a scheduled date and then do whatever you normally do.
Right. I do wonder though, what would we hold a meeting for that could get him back?
I think any mass shop district meeting would bring him back, but if you want a good reason, then I've heard a couple things, or for 15 gold I might know.
15 gold. You know? Yeah, why not? Why not? I'll give him 15.
Alright, well, basically, the thing is, is that something Svel does. He kind of makes these wands out of these endangered trees. And Daro would get him some of this stuff sent in, kind of personal trade route, if you will. Lavelia wasn't cool with it, from what I heard. So if you talk about how some illegal goods have been ushered in through the night market that are maybe certain endangered woods, and that shops got a hold of your shop, Anger of the Earth, got a hold of a mission pertaining to the shipment, then I'm sure he'd be all ears for what you had to say.
I like that, Mercurial. I like that. You know what? You know what I forgot to ask?
Mercurial doesn't show much of his face. Does he outwardly appear hot or no?
It's hard to tell, but
Okay. Then
he
that
is-
doesn't matter.
he's at least handsome in the part that you
Okay.
can see.
Okay. Then that's fine. I won't be swayed by somebody who I can't tell too much on. All right. Okay. Well, pleasure doing business as always. And I just to be nice, I'll hand him the documents related to like the corruption that was there, the blackmail that they had on Daryl, the stuff that the mayor and all them were doing. As well as it gives a little bit of information on the Archbishop, so maybe he could cross-reference it with shit he has. I could get better information from him later.
I'll come back to you tomorrow. I'll meet you at Anger of the Earth.
All right. And I will go ahead and head out towards
All right.
the shop district.
All right, you move there.
Yes, I go to the shop district, and when I get there, I'm not gonna do a whole thing about it. I just want to talk with the scrapyard guys and try to get them to help me organize a meeting tomorrow.
Of course, I got you anytime, Grant.
For sure. Appreciate you, boss.
For sure. I'll have the meeting hosted for the 4th of Sturmus.
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right, the morning of the 4th. I got you.
Mm-hmm. And I will take my ass to Anger the Earth and sleep. I'm gonna go sleep
All
in
right.
time.
Our characters all sleep and wake up on day 3.
Day 3-10.
All right. Okay, so day 3 rolls about. Nothing crazy like day 1 or 2. It is a free and open day. A nice sunrise, pretty good weather, a cool 81 degree Fahrenheit.
I'll let I know what I want to do, so I'll let y'all like think on it a little bit because I already know what I'm gonna do today.
All right. Well, I'll hit up Quay real quick.
Quay and Art.
What is it that you would like to do, Yormisk?
This nigga, bro.
Breakout sneeze.
Well, first, I'm gonna go eat a bowl of cereal and take a shower and brush my teeth and wash my face. Then I'm gonna go to the shops so I can buy materials
I
for
see.
alchemic potions. I think today we're gonna cook in the kitchen. And
All right.
also,
Mhm.
I'm gonna start my day off before I do anything by praying to my patron Dosha.
You prayed to
And-
Dosha. feel the dark raspiness of his voice kind of echo through the space, the atmosphere above. Thank you, my child. I will make sure you're taken care of. Plant a seed of the alchemic potion of gold south of the tower of the capital. Make note of Nihilus Day 2. Go back and pick up what you have earned.
Okay. So then after that, I ask my patron, do you think I could summon a ghost to roam around the city and maybe get any details on the Archbishop while I work?
That's fair, yeah. So you go over to the shopping district and you want to pick up a couple things here and there, and you want to send out your ghost while you do that alongside when you are doing alchemy, correct?
Yes.
All right. So you go to the shopping district and, you get a swath of really good herbs and things that'll be really useful. And she gives you a whole kit, like a artisan's kit for 30 gold. Seems to be on sale today because all of the problems that I've been having, I'd give them a lot of time to find some new cultures from the exposed sewer lines. They made a lot of plants come in. A lot of people have been buying things to heal people. You're feeling good about it.
I'm gonna get that artisan's kit.
All right, the artisan's kit, and roll me a dex check. I just need 3 of those for the ghost. You can just roll it once and then press up enter to like redo your previous roll. Just make it easy. You should be able to like click on the chat and press up, and it'll go to your previous thing. You can press enter again. Is it not appearing?
Yeah.
Ooh, there. There you go. Cool.
Ooh, and that one hundo.
That's what hundo. All right, all these are quite good. So at first, while you're picking up the artisan's kit, they're just kind of listening around to people in the morning. They're kind of, yapping here and there. Some of them are talking about like the exposed part of this place and the explosion that happened, and they're hoping it gets repaired soon. But as you kind of get more of your stuff and you kind of go back to your room to kind of set everything up for the alchemy, some ghosts come back to you throughout the day. This is later in the day, but still useful. And they say, Boss.
Yes.
I think I found something very bizarre.
Do tell.
Well, you see, that, one of the guys stuck in your pouch is, I guess, the mayor. They're worried about his body being gone, but I believe, boss, you have it. But according to what we heard, some of the older nobility in the nobility district seem to be talking about how he had something on them. Some dirt, if you will. Ha 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 ha.
I go to my body freezer storage place in my room.
Mm-hmm.
And I open the drawer where the mayor's body is, and I'm looking at it with wide eyes. And as I poke around in his compartments, do I find something in a pocket?
Nah, but you feel like if you called him back to his body that he might be able to answer something.
Okay. So I put his soul back into his body for now.
All
to
right.
ask him questions as to what he's talking about.
I've been dead for so long. Who are you, young man?
Greetings, O spirit. I am Yormisk Kyojin, a humble gravedigger.
I see. My wife called me that once.
A gravedigger? Ha 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 ha. Your wife is as sharp-tongued as she is quick-witted.
I appreciate that.
I love the laugh so much.
Well, you've brought me here, I assume, for something. What is it that you need, young Yormisk?
I need information on the Archbishop.
Ah, the Archbishop. That rat bastard killed me. If it's for him, I'll give you whatever you need. What do you need in particular?
Can you tell me his name?
Archbishop Byforth. That's his real name. I can write it in a notebook.
I give him one of my notebooks. Can you give me can you give me all the information you have on this guy? And mind you, you can take as much time as you can because I'm cooking right now.
I will do so. I'll write this out and you think of everything you're gonna craft and I will type this out for another 1 minute. Be right back.
Alright. So I'm thinking poisons and health potions. That's pretty much it. Do a bunch of those. Maxing out how much money. And I'm doing this with no realm, so I'm doing this by hand. Oh god. Oh. So there I am, cooking. I'm mixing a multitude of herbs. I got my intelligence ghost watching. So when I put them in bodies and they're stuck in here in my house, they'll be able to craft potions for me later on. So they're learning as well. Right? So this is the most talkative I am doing because I'm around ghosts. I'm around myself, so I'm really just talking to myself. You know, and one of the potions, it's a dud. It's okay. We rolled a 53. However, the rest of the potions came out nicely. They came out alright. And this is basically just a prepping day. Because we go into battle, it's going to be something fierce. I got my wagons in the background. They're out on the outskirts of the city, awaiting my call. Just chilling.
Alright. Perfect. I'll add this to the item info as well. Bing. Alright. So, alright. You craft You are. So you. Raph. Can you roll me one more?
One more. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the potion, you get a series of stamina potions. So we'll give you 3 stamina potions. You'll pretty flat stamina. That's that, and then the other one was the poison.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced tier 1 poison flask. I'll give you 4 of those. There you go. All right. Ow. Okay, so you make those and things and stuff. Good.
How much did that cost?
How much did it cost?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said you didn't want to craft them with Rummick, right? So you just craft them using time. So for you, you would just be further along in the day.
Okay.
That makes sense? Mark?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Yeah, you just you crafted them as part of the artisanal stuff, but that was within the packet, so you still have some left.
Okay.
You're at afternoon. I will just do that so that I have that. Okay. All right, really quick art.
Like,
Yeah.
What is it that you do after you wake up this morning?
Tariq is going to, as usual, look around for Tali, make sure she's there.
She is there. She is sitting on a piece of furniture in your room that is not a chair, nor is it a normal sitting implement.
That sounds like Tali. Tariq's not gonna think much about it, and he's gonna head to the church.
All right. Which church?
The one that has the artifact that's in my quest. I
That
don't
would be in the
remember
slums.
which. Okay, then that one.
Okay. Yeah, you head over here. You head to the church. Most of it is destroyed, disheveled, in fact. It's been rebuilt as a slow explosion blew it up on day 1. But day 2 made good progress on fixing it up, and so a lot of it is still there, but it is currently being produced. There are some tunnels that are a little open that you could get through if you're trying to look at where this explosion started from to kind of understand what happened with that, or you can discuss with some of the church dwellers what they know about what you're talking about.
Sure. So, like, I don't know how secret this is supposed to be. And that matters a lot whether I talk about it with anybody.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on the level in which your character cares other people overhear it. But if it doesn't really matter to your character whether or not they care about the Nylon artifact, Nylon's just an emissary, he's like a god. So to people, they would actually think it's devout of you to question about this artifact.
Okay. that makes sense.
But if you're not wanting people to think that you care about religion, then you could keep it hush hush. It's up to you.
No, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, whoever's around, I guess I'll just ask. I don't know.
All right, you entered the church. It is being constructed on the outside, but there are some people inside that still attend church, especially in the morning, like now. You know, a man approaches you. He is injured, so he's got his arm in a sling, and otherwise he looks pretty healthy. He walks over to you and he goes, "Ah, what is it that you need?"
Well, I was just curious about the artifact, the Nylon artifact, the artifact specifically for Nylon's artifact.
I see. Well, there are a couple that pertain to this church, many of which were destroyed, but are you referring to a reproduction or an official one?
I guess I don't know.
Would you like to look at our reproductions?
That sounds fine. Also, out of curiosity, your arm there, when did you hurt that, if you don't mind me asking?
I heard it in day one, after the after some caving in and the church kind of fell in on itself. I was living in one of the side houses and some rubble fell on top of it.
Is that too much time for me to use my funny time thing to reverse the injury?
I would allow it. It seems reasonable that only a couple days have passed.
Okay, I'd like to do that.
Alright, you heal his arm, and
Specifically, yeah, because the assumption is before he's actually done anything for me, I want to be nice.
No, that's
Not
fair.
make it seem like a repayment thing.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate that. I will... Sorry, I'm doing a little micro calc on the side. Okay, you do so. He heals his arm up, and he's like, well, actually, thank you very much. He starts moving it, and he's like, it's just like it was before. I appreciate that. Would you? I could take you on this tour right now if you'd will.
That sounds fine to me.
Takes you to the east hall of this church section, and they've placed some reproductions, and it kind of tells a historical history of this church, Nylon, why it's so close to him, why it matters compared to maybe some of the churches of Nylon in the religious district. And he kind of goes over to the fact that, like, well, you see, in Nylon, he erected this church first, or supposedly very close to first. The original was destroyed long ago, but it keeps getting rebuilt as sort of a form of his order and his renewed energy and making sure this stays well constructed. And he explains the first artifact of Nylon is the coin of Nylon, and he shows you a reproduction of the coin of Nylon. Says, long ago there was a story in which he would pull this coin and it would spin in high speeds, depending on what landed on. Nylon's form would change in a robust way. He moves over to the second one. He goes, this is the gauntlet of Nylon. According to stories, Nylon would wrestle targets to the ground, and it would discharge an electrical necrotic energy into their body. Some say it's the origin of the archivist's time magics. He gets the third one. He goes, this is the mask of Nylon. Nylon was not known to have had a face, so all depictions of him include this mask. It's of course a reproduction. I don't think one exists of the artifact of the original mask. It was long destroyed in a great battle. It's the final artifact of Nylon. He goes, this is the band of Nylon. Apparently it stimulates some sort of convergence of energy that passes through it. The archivist studied it long ago and could never find quite what creates this sort of bountiful energy. But, you know, we used to house a couple of the relics, but I'm sorry to say that I think the Band of Nylon was destroyed on that fateful day 2 days ago.
So all of these are reproductions?
All of these are reproductions. The Band of Nylon was previously held in a subterranean tunnel underneath, but it had been misused by the previous archbishop. I call it divine justice that Nyland would send his devotees to end his tyrannical rule and misuse of his power.
I suppose there might be something to that idea. Am I allowed to touch any of these?
Of course, they're all reproductions. You may touch them. You seem like a, well thought out fellow. I'm sure you'll be fine. Worst case, we rebuild them again. Many of them are freshly rebuilt.
All right, then. And so, Tariq will just examine the different objects, get a kind of idea of how they're made.
Alright, roll me an intelligence. But go ahead and continue if you need.
Spin intelligence check.
You have to roll it for each object.
I wish I remembered what made the button thing show up.
You can click your token, or you can enable it in the macro section by putting in bar on. Alright, roll me 4 more of those. You can do the standard chat box thing where you click it and up, enter, whatever.
4 more, you say? Even though there's only... I thought there were 4 artifacts.
There are, but there's a reason for the 5th. Alright. You are able to understand the second and third artifacts in particularly well understanding. The first are nebulous. For whatever reason, the coin of Nylon, you're not into coinage, and it doesn't seem to have a mechanical function, so you don't quite understand how it even functioned. And this prop doesn't seem to be very clear in that function. The Gauntlet of Nylon is close enough to your time magic that you kind of get why it works. And you could reproduce the housing, though whatever the engine of which it's supposed to use is kind of unclear, but with, maybe researching the pieces that are in it, if you had pieces, you could probably get an understanding of it. And then the Mask of Nylon makes sense to you. It has housings in the eyes and the mouth to move around. It's very mechanically intensive, but you get an idea of how its function works. And then the loop, you don't understand it at all. It's super nebulous construction, requires an insane amount of intelligence to understand. So you get the idea that the Archbishop maybe had somebody else understand it for him, because outside of people at the top end of inventors, you don't suspect any normal person would understand how this thing works. In that final check, you get an indication that all of these are definitely fakes, but that one of them in particular is extra incorrect to what you would assume it would have to be. You have a guess, but you might need to ask him a bit more to pin it down.
So, was this Archbishop who... Was he particularly close to anyone who was knowledgeable about mechanical things?
It's a good question. Long ago, some of this stuff was made. The mayor had connections, but I don't think he had many connections with people who would have mechanical understanding. Maybe somebody who could work with these would exist, but not many of those in town. I suspect the only one that I could guess would probably be somebody in Sorcerer's Globe.
That makes sense. Well, I mean, I guess there's also the question of if he had someone do it outside to avoid suspicion, but... How recently were these reproductions made, aside from the one that you said was just 2 days ago, the loop?
Many of these are made just 2 days ago, but one of them was pulled from the rubble initially and then reproduced the outside of it. But it wasn't an original. It was a reproduction reproduced again. And that would be the gauntlet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was wondering why I didn't quite understand what was going on in there.
Ah, you must be a savvy craftsman. I could, He gives you a card for somebody in the, that helped with the reproductions that works on the Sorcerer's Globe, but he works with somebody who's higher up that could have maybe known the Archbishop in some way. And maybe, facilitated the connection that got him the craftsman. But the craftsman is very unlikely to have lived in the capital.
All right. Well, this is really helpful. Thanks. Tariq takes out his detective notebook and writes a few things, stealing one of Sienna's bits because she stole my internal monologue last session.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
How?
You totally did. You had a thing where you said, "Oh, I'm stealing Tariq's bit," and then you said a line of internal monologue.
Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro.
That's it for that. 1 for 1. Alright. You find this information out, and you move along to your noon. Anybody else want to take their morning turn?
If I haven't hunted down that weapons guy, I'll do that.
You head to the northwest in the slums. Roll me dexterity to not get robbed.
Oh.
Do not get robbed. You narrowly evade all of the youngins that are trying to take your wallet as you progress.
Nice try. But not good enough.
Correct. You make your way to a door and you knock on it. You hear a grumbled old voice inside. Yes, what is it?
Cross out.
Fuck. Okay. He unhooks like a bunch of latches you can hear on the inside, and like you hear like a beep beep boop beep beep boop, and it opens up, slides open, and he goes, "Get in here quick." He throws you inside. Do you let him?
Sure.
Yeah, you get tossed inside as he reattaches the lock and puts in a pin code and presses enter on it, and it locks the door up. Inside is much more space age than you would have expected from the outside exterior. What is it that you need, kiddo?
It looks big around the inside. Right, so he pulls out the gun. And he just like, he's not like pointing it at anyone, he's just like kind of pointing it up, showing it off kind of thing. Like, so I've got this gun, right? But apparently I'm not skilled enough to use it. I was told you could help me out with that.
These kids. Who sent you?
I got the info from Mercurial.
Does sound like him. Alrighty, come with me. He kicks open a latched, like, section of his house. It slides over like a ching and pulls over, and it's a stairwell that goes down. Follow me. Don't trip. Don't bang your head.
I should be able to avoid. Ow!
I told you to watch your head.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
Sure you did.
I just chose to walk into it.
What a nuisance. He goes down to the bottom and he opens up a really nice looking lab door, and it leads to a large like opening, like a 50-foot room by 30 feet. Alright, kid, get in here. I need to see what you can currently do. So he hits a button and it's like ka-ching, and these targets kind of pull out, and he goes, I want you to hit all of these in 10 seconds, okay? They're stationary for now. If you can't even hit these, then I don't want to deal with you.
Do you want me to use my original gun or the new one?
Use the new one. There's not much of a difference for you.
Okay. He will attempt to do this.
Alright, roll me a series of 10 dex checks in which you get none of them under 10.
None of them under 10, okay. So just Is there a easy way to do this, or do I just have to hit this and hit 20 10 times?
You can click on the chat after you do it once and press up enter to go back to your previous command and re-input it.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. So that's 1. I guess that's not working. Cool, that's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
All right.
7,
Mm-hmm.
8,
Mm-hmm.
9, 10.
Fantastic. Good job, kiddo. Looks like it was actually impossible for you to fail that with your skills. Good on you.
I was warned that I might have to be going against like fast-moving targets today. Think you could get me some of those to shoot at?
He hits a couple buttons and they start moving really fast, and he goes, "All right, boy, but you only have to hit 3 of these then, okay? If you can shoot 3 of these without rolling below 70, then maybe you
All
don't
right.
need that much. But if you do, I'm not saying that I won't teach you if you don't do it, but just to give you an
All right.
idea of how hard this is."
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Wow, that was a good one. Beginner's luck.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
There you
Doing
go.
2 for 3 isn't the worst I've seen, especially with that fast. I mean, you got a little bit of grit on you, boy. So how about this? I'll spend the whole rest of the day training you, and you'll definitely be able to hit those pesky critters, whatever you're trying to hit. But you gotta pay me a little
Yeah.
bit, and you gotta spend the day.
What do you need? Yeah, I can do both those things.
All right.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, give me about 50.
50.
50.
All right.
You finished the
50.
mission last time as well, by the way. And I will give you a bit of favorability with the right people. Just give me a second. Doing that really quick, and then that mission did not award money. What is your pillar leans?
It was renown and money.
Then you do get a little bit of money. You can give yourself 20 money back.
Cash back. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. I'll actually give you that. Okay. Perfect. I just wanted to finish that out. All right. You do so. And he offers to teach you for the whole rest of the day, and you're cool with that?
Yeah. Do I have to complete this quest by the day's end, or does it
No,
just
it's
like
for a
as long
week.
as it? Cool. All right. Yeah. That's fine.
All right, perfect. We go to our next player. We'll go to our duo real quick here in Solstia. You guys wake up, mildly hungover. But it's not too bad. Borach, you get a straight night's sleep. You can add yourself 1 sleep stack.
Okay.
And you get a good night's sleep, which is rare. It usually only happens after you do a lot of good stuff.
Okay. So we're waking up.
Yep. You're all waking up. Iris is like 1 room away from you, and Cuford's the same way. The same man.
She's probably trying to sew another doll since her last one blew up.
Fair enough. What do you do, Borach?
Kind of rolls around and pretty much just stays asleep.
Fair enough. Just sleep part of his day away, get another sleep stack, and feel a bit better about what he's doing. So he stays in there. Iris, you start crafting your doll and you complete it alongside other things.
No.
You can rest if you hadn't already from before because you went to bed.
Thank
For
you.
both of you, Borach and Iris. You plan to...
I'll probably talk to Qford.
Okay, that's totally
See
fine.
if I can find him.
Yeah, you go outside and you meet Qford. He's in the hall. He's, tightening up some of his clothing.
Good morning.
Ah,
I had-
yes.
I had a quick question about the Misty Woods. I don't quite know a lot about them, actually.
I'll give you the quick rundown. Basically, it's a woods the old spiritualists used to throw people in when they would incarcerate them, especially their enemies. For it is considered impossible to escape. The external part of the woods is held together by a lot of ancient magic, some of which is believed to be sigillus, some of which is believed to be older. Not than sigillus, but older than when the sigillus placed spells on it. Maybe enchantments from ancient witches or something. But either way, it's basically riddled to hell and back with some odd magics that distort your perception of time, space, movement. It makes you hypnotized. It's pretty crazy stuff. There's believed to be something stored within there, maybe a treasure, but I think that's hopeful.
So this treasure, it's not the source of the magic.
No, that'd be unlikely,
Alright.
because then getting the treasure while under these effects would disable the Misty Woods probably, but
Right.
probably an object if it is anything, but I don't know why somebody would want to hold it at bay so hard. I feel like if it was that bad, the emissaries would just collect it.
And this group, or at least Borach's father, is in there?
Yeah, that's almost certain.
Alright.
He should be alive as well, but whether or not the person who killed your band of people is alive is hard to say.
Yes. I was wondering if I could get a closer look and maybe examine that magic? If you're free. I don't want to intrude.
I'm not quite free, but Disley could probably take you and she'd get you there faster.
Sure. That would be greatly appreciated.
Head outside and Disley's like, hey! I was just about to go on my morning run.
I don't suppose that would be near, or at least closer to the Misty Woods?
You can be. Are you gonna run with me?
Of course, sure. I'll try my best. I'm not very, I don't have a lot of stamina, but I'll try my best to keep up.
Alright, well, best of luck. And you guys head out to go to the Misty Woods, and she wants you to roll her an endurance check.
Oh, no. Alright.
Well,
Just like panicking and like
by the
dying
time
every
you
2
get there,
seconds. And...
you try to keep up as much as possible, and you hold fast, but once you get there, you kind of like, we're there, and then your body just completely gives out. You just pass out onto the ground.
Oh my goodness. My word.
It's
I'm
just
not
a third
meant
of
for
the
long
way.
distances. What?
Well, I mean, I guess we could rest a little bit here. I mean, this is where you wanted to be, right?
Oh, if it was my brother, he could keep going on forever, but not me.
Yeah, it's a lot of running. You do seem pretty scrawny, unfortunately.
I will admit that, yes. I maybe don't take care of myself as much as I should have, or should.
Well, if you ran every day like me, then you wouldn't have any problem with it. But then you wouldn't be whoever you are.
I suppose that makes sense.
You arrive at the Misty Woods, and you can see the external part of it seems to have a fog to it. There seems to have been a wall erected as a sort of barricade to prevent people from accidentally wandering in it. And there's some guards, you know, on the outsides of it, kind of watching it. But they're not guards in a antagonistic way, just more of a explain to people that this is an area that'll kill you type way. And prevent people from committing suicide, essentially, by running into the forest.
Right. Does anything seem specific, like... Do I get a sense of anything? Can I see anything that might help me understand what kind of odd magic I need to kind of research about?
Yeah, you can roll me intelligence dexterity to kind of get an idea of like what type of tags or other type of ancient magic you kind of realize is there. If you have any bonuses in your skills, you can apply them as well. I don't know if you do.
I don't think I do.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Not yet.
You would only have plus 10 if you were near the woods, like way too close. I don't think Iris would do that on purpose.
No.
Yeah, you get the impression that you don't understand where the tags are if they are placed, like you just don't quite see them. But you think like maybe if you're closer or something, maybe there's a way to detect it, but there seems to be heavy spots that you can kind of perceive, like definitely spots where the magic is heavier. It isn't like an array. Like, you're familiar with arrays of magic, so for the sake of argument, I'll try to just freehand this, but like, let's imagine that, you know, this would be in a box, right? So if it was in a box, the array might have them in, you know, a equally distant fashion, right? To where it would be able to maintain the mana connections, and so it would go in every single direction, like a, you know, like what you would expect. But that doesn't appear to be happening according to what you can tell. It would appear that it is instead placed unevenly, and so you get the impression that it's that they don't have these like 9 tag configuration or anything, that it must have some sort of magic placed from maybe a center point, and then over time there have been patches done by ancient sigillists in spots where it weakens, but it feels very random.
Okay.
And you're like kind of like here, I guess, where the check mark is. So you get the idea that like where you are, there's just not a lot of information. It seems like you'd have to get around it towards the right side here, or maybe to this northwestern corner.
I think would one of my dolls be able to work for this?
You could send a doll inside of it.
Okay. The thing is, I'm not sure. Would I be able to see through?
If it all has that tag, then you can see through it unless something stops you from seeing through it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use one of my animate tags and send the doll I just made in. All right. Good luck in there, little guy. I just finished you, but whatever. Let's try our best.
Doll walks through, and the guards don't notice it. And it kind of walks around, and you're kind of using your sight, and you start getting a little sick. Not you, but like looking through the doll's eyes, the doll's kind of getting like topsy-turvy, like it's inverting and a bunch of other stuff as it gets close to the center point. You'd say there's like a cutoff around here where it seems like the doll senses get super, super bad. So you start U-turning it away, and it kind of goes away. And you walk your doll close to this really high energy source over here. And you are able to roll me a quite hard intelligence check with a plus 30. additional.
So my intelligence and 30? Okay.
Yeah. Because it specifically has to do with sigillus tags and a tag
Okay.
you've made before, somewhat.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay.
That's
You,
nice.
yeah. You get the impression that this is actually held together by a what's called a archaic array form.
And
So the archaic array form is essentially like it's super old sigillist magic that was used before the modern day of the realms of chaos,
Mhm.
like from before the realms were formed. And most people do not know it in your village. Like they just don't, which explains how old it must be.
Yeah.
But you are familiar with the fact that these are tied to objects in the world that when destroyed or rechanneled, they like disable the original spell or that part of the array.
Okay.
And so you kind of get the impression that that's the information you have, and that if you were to have more information, you could perchance maybe like look into this. So yeah, you come back with that information. You want to talk to Disley about any of it, or you want to keep it to yourself?
Yeah, I'll mention it to her and see if she understands any of it.
Oh,
Do you know like where the objects would be, or like?
I heard
what-
Qford talk about them. There's like these gems. Some are near the inventors that would be used for this. You'd need like a really strong gem. So I assume that Qford has haggled with some inventors before, maybe seen things that aren't for sale, you know what I mean, that could relate to these things.
Mhm.
Maybe long descended families of the inventors protect these rocks. Despite my
Right.
appearance, I'm actually quite old.
Really?
Yeah, like 230.
Oh my. You do have a few years on me, I suppose.
Just a few, you know. But
Thank
pretty
you very
young.
much for bringing me here.
For sure. Well, I'm glad that was useful. I'm gonna finish my trek, but you'll only slow me down. So just make sure you get back alive as she heads off into
Cheers.
the distance.
Yes.
Roll me one encounter check on the way back.
It's just a straight 100, right?
You can add stealth if you want, which is
I don't-
agility.
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's not.
You're
Ooh,
fine. You get back, no problem at
I
all.
was so worried.
Yeah, whoa. Hogan's slipping. Alright. So you get all the way back, and you meet up. Kiefer's doing the shop, and at this point in time, this stuff moves and annoys me. One sec. Why is this happening? I'm literally holding the hotkey to make this not happen, and it's happening anyway. Okay. Yeah. So you guys do that, and Kyouma, Grant awakes and does his stuff.
Oh shit. Okay. Well. First thing I'm gonna do after waking up is I'm going to talk to Ashura. I'm gonna stroll up to him and say, any idea on the next name on the sheet yet, or?
Grant. I actually do know a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, I've heard through the grapevine there's a particularly annoying individual on the list now.
oh. Is there? I take the list out and look at it.
You look at it, and one of the names, as if being revealed, the question marks kind of fold and blend into the name that now spells out, Serperius, Grandis.
Huh.
There you go.
Super annoying guy. Interesting. Okay. Any idea on where this fucker might be at?
Serperius Grandis should be, yeah. He's in the Nobility District today.
Well,
But if he's not, interactive with today, then he's, probably gone tomorrow.
well, I got some time to kill before I want to meet with somebody in particular, so I guess I can go ahead and take care of that, huh?
Yeah. I'd recommend you either wear disguise or find a friend who can let you into the Nobility District.
Find a friend who can let me in the Nobility District. Who do I know that would be allowed in the Nobility District?
Yeah.
Let me think for a second. Who do I know that would be in the Nobility District? Maybe they'd let Haim in.
That's true. They almost certainly would.
Huh. I guess I can go meet Haim. Where does he stay? The Guild District? I guess I can go meet Haim. And I will go ahead and head over to the Guild District to meet with Haim to see if he's awake yet or there.
All right. Go to the guild hall to meet Haim, and he is recently awakened. He had just put on his armor and everything. He's come on to the bottom floor of the guild hall. He sleeps on the top floor.
Mm-hmm.
All
right.
Good morning, Brad.
Hi, Haim. Yes. I have some business to attend to in the Nobility District. Do you think you could help me get in there?
Yeah, you can be my +1. He goes, yeah, you can be my +1 into the district.
Well, I mean, that'd work great. That'd work great.
Yeah, apparently there's some meeting with some annoying guy.
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
Yeah.
Interesting. That might be exactly who I'm looking for.
Oh, that'd be great.
Well, it's almost like you know what I'm going there for. Don't say it out loud to the world.
Well, doesn't have anything to do with me if it's after I talked to him the one time that I'm supposed to.
You know what? Yeah, we could. Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right, well, follow me in then.
All right, I will follow him into the Nobility District.
Yes. You take notice that his voice changed. His morning voice is very different seemingly than his normal voice. So just
yes,
a notice to you.
Yes, I did notice. That's why I rolled.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, we enter into the Nobility District's Grand Hall, as they call it.
The Grand Hall.
This wealthy but nice-looking, older man with a grayish beard and brown hair. he greets you with a smile, and you feel it's genuine, actually.
Hey.
And that he deserves some degree of respect, as, you know, maybe he's worked
Okay.
pretty hard. You see his hands are pretty calloused, and he holds a cane.
I will walk up to him and I'll ask him what's up. What's good?
Well, it's a good meeting you, young Grant. I'm Sir Freddington.
Sir Freddington.
I run this whole
Okay.
estate, and my young lad has since passed away. I've come back to the grand old city to take care of its building until it falls into wreckage.
What are your thoughts on the guy holding the meeting here today?
Oh, blast him and his awful lineage. Between you and me, Grant, he gets close to your ear. No, there's a reason that I don't have an heir anymore. It certainly might be tied to him. So, if you can make it quick, the meeting, I can get out of here a little early, and I can go into the spa.
Hey. Well, you know, that's fine by me. That's fine by me. I will hand him 30 in case he has any trouble he needs to get out of after this.
Well, thank you. I'll make sure the cleaners get it, you know.
Of course.
All right.
I walk in through the door and everybody sees in dark text on the screen, mission start appear in front of everybody.
Stop. Heim walks in and he goes, "Ah, Superius, it's great to meet you." And Superius looks at him and he goes, "Hi, my God, you're so nice to have met you once more. You know, I've been chased here and there. Oh, it's terrible. I was hoping to get your services to protect me, because I don't know. Everybody seems to be out to get me. All I did was, bump people off. They're in my way. Heim, I know that you know some people, but I just need somebody that you trust to protect me, and everything will go great, and nobody will get hurt. It'll be a fantastic day." And Heim winks at you, and he activates his eye magic on Superius.
Ooh.
Of course, Superius. We'll do everything in our power to protect you. And he pats Grant on the shoulder and he goes, "This guy will be your bodyguard today. And don't worry, you'll be sure to not leave this facility unharmed."
Correct.
Or harmed. Sorry, one of the two. But we'll make sure. I'll stand guard outside. It's important. I've heard there's some rapscallions out there. They're trying to creep in through the woodwork to get at you. And, we wouldn't like that. And he goes, "Oh, of course, Grant, you're my savior. It's gonna be so nice. Oh my God, I finally get to go to the red light district for the 3rd time today."
Of course.
If you could take me, that would be great. We have a tunnel. I think it goes straight there, and it'll be grand. I can trust you, right?
Oh,
He goes up
really?
towards you, and he tries to
you can
activate
trust me.
a sort of magic on you, but you can tell that it's being disabled, and he thinks it works. So he's like, "Oh, you're so trustworthy. It's so great." Oh, great. Awesome.
Yeah, go ahead and lead the way to that tunnel. I'm assuming there's nobody in there that can get in our way on the way there?
No, it's only for me and
course
the
not.
grandest of people in this relic.
Yes.
This relic of a fucking town. Oh my God, it's so bad here.
It is very old town.
Oh, yes, of course. And he just pulls a lever on the wall, and these things like some crazy dungeon opens up, and he frolics down the staircase, so happy. He just pulls a mountain of gold into a sack, and he just tosses it in there and throws it behind his back, and he goes, "Oh, it's gonna be so great. Oh my God. I can't wait." And he runs all the way down the staircase.
I light up a cigarette and start smoking as I say, damn right it is. And I walk down behind him, high-fiving him on the way down.
Yeah.
We'll get down there. And I'm behind him currently. He thinks the spell is working. Okay. Is he paying any attention to me at all?
No, he thinks you got him protected from the rear. In front of him, he doesn't suspect anybody would like do anything. So he's good.
Oh, how do I want to do this? Oh man. There's so many ways. I'm letting you know Mountain Demon's active right now. I'm gonna go ahead and take the 50 away from myself for that. I forgot to rest beforehand. Let me go ahead and do that. Let me take the 50 away. He pissed me off.
Of course.
So, Mountain Demon's active. And, I'm just doing that. We can just say that it's active just to state it.
Yep.
You know, even though I actually technically shouldn't have any of the bad things happening from any of my seals.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to oh man, holy fuck. You know, why not? I'm behind him. I'm already pissed off. I'm gonna activate Anger of the Earth from directly behind him. Anger of the Earth, I roll a d6 and get an effect based on it added to myself or the slash that my sword is producing.
Okay.
I'm going to hold the sword that I made of steel yesterday. I'm going to hold that behind him as the screen turns black and I roll this d6. You see me go black and white.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4.
All right. Pull this open. You have a Negatron slash.
Okay.
So it is like a dark type of damage. It can plague the wielder on hit. Plague is a type of dark status. It's a rare dark status that causes the target to take recurring damage if they don't get rid of the plague. That works.
Okay.
It rolls to be weaker every time, but it's essentially like if it was a dot damage that got worse every turn.
That's fine. This is only gonna have to hit once.
Yeah.
I'll throw that bitch out. I mean, it's not like I can choose to re-roll it now or stop it from happening.
Yeah. So you.
So.
Boom. Slam.
I guess I could have made myself immune to effects from, but I don't care.
It don't matter. You hit him with the Negatron blade. Anger of the Earth as the weapon plunges through his collarbone, through 2 more of his ribs, stops, and annihilates his insides with this sort of plague-like thing. He like falls to a knee and he's like, Grant, don't help me, you were possessed just now. No, damn my darn luck, it's so bad. He goes to pull like a brooch and it shatters and he's like, what? No. They got to him too. Oh, is me.
I laugh as I will take him by the head. And I'm going to throw him in the air. I'm gonna jump up in the air after him. And I'm gonna yell, Calamity Buster, as I bring him back to the ground.
Oh my goodness.
And I rip him in half over my head. That was a great. Needed that. Holy fuck. I take one more drag on my cigarette before like throwing it on the ground and then making the flame on it like bigger by sending a gust of wind with my embolist cylinder to burn the remains of his body as I take the sack of money he was carrying on him and any other valuables he had and walk out.
All right, let me roll this real quick. Boom.
Item.
That makes sense. Okay. You obtain the... Let's see here. The, all caps.
The words "assassination complete" appear in front of everybody in the party's head in dark text for some reason.
Huh, I haven't killed anyone today. That's weird.
What? How do I make this go away? Just like swatting at it.
Alright, that's the ring.
The son of a bitch ring. Requires a difficult ritual to purify. Draws aggro and is a cursed familial ring. I can deal with that later.
Yeah, that's the wrong place.
How much money did he have on him? Because he said he was waving around a giant sack of cash.
Yeah. I have to see how much of it is counterfeit. 1 second.
Okay.
Plus 35. 43 of it was real.
Oh.
A lot of it was fake.
I'll take that.
He's really bad for the economy.
I mean, that ends me up with more than I had before I went into. So that's fine. That brings me back to an even 200, which is kind of crazy. I started all of within the past day. I went from 202 down to 157, and now I'm back at exactly 200. So I'll take that.
Heck yeah.
I walk up from the tunnel that was previously opened in front of everybody, and I probably they can tell what happened from looks, but I kind of want them to know that the job was done, because I did rip him in half on top of myself. So I walk out, and
Sir Freddington, he comes up to you and he gives you a napkin to wipe your face, and he points you to a really nice spa shower that he also wants to attend.
Oh God, I that was great. Also, you don't have to worry about the cleaning. I made sure that got taken care of.
Of course, I got you. Well, let's go and take a good soak. You joining us, Heim? Heim has a really low chance of joining, but I'll roll it because it's real impossible. If this is a negative number, he's not joining.
Okay.
I'm just making this easier on me by making it turn negative. Okay, yeah, he really doesn't want to join.
Look, man, I've already had enough adrenaline for today. I can't do that.
Heim goes off and he goes, no, I'll let you get to it. I have something I have to finish up, actually.
Okay.
Take care of Grant. I'm glad you could get him the service he needed.
For sure. I will go clean off at the spa, and that'll be that. I gotta figure out what to do with this fucking ring. Ooh, I do have a question for Sir Freddington while we're there, though.
Of course. What would you like, Grant?
Have you seen anything to do with my sword at all? The weird mechanical sword that I had?
I've only heard tales of various armaments in passing. So let me peruse my memory banks.
I should have appeared about when did I lose it? Like a week ago?
It doesn't follow. I don't recall,
Damn.
unfortunately. I do know
Okay.
the
that's
guild
fine.
had some info on it, and somebody else, but I've heard perchance that you and her aren't doing so well.
Oh, her, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, the madam.
yeah,
Orseri.
yeah. You know, it makes sense that she would know about that. Because if my sword went missing after... Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you, you know, yeah, that's... Yeah, that would make sense that she would know about it. God damn it. Okay. Anyways. I also want to ask, did Daryl stay around here in the Nobility District? Before you know.
No. He often stayed in the city hall, but his wife stayed here.
His wife stayed here?
Yeah.
What can you tell me about them? I'm kind of curious. We found some strange stuff in the city hall.
I know a bit about his wife, but not much else. They had fought often enough and she had talked about it, but that's as much as I know about Daryl himself. He stayed and worked a lot and got involved in some problems. But she was quite lovely, but she unfortunately met her demise a little before him. I hear tales that she sometimes roams the Nobility District, but in recent time
You're
it's
cutting
been
out an
gone.
awful lot.
That's
Yeah.
surprising and terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
If it's only through this roof, it's also on that'd be crazy.
Huh. Well, I don't know. Okay. Well, I'll try. Let me know if I'm cutting off. Just cut me off.
Okay.
She would wander the Nobility District as a wraith in recent time.
You cut out
but-
again. There you go.
Interesting. Well, you know,
Like, it's
this-
been happening off and on, but as of right now, it's gotten, like, crazy bad.
Interesting. I can only assume this is sort of like a weird internet thing.
It's a
But
weird Discord noise gate
let me
thing,
just
probably.
back out and enter back in. Hello,
Alright.
hello. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Well, okay. So she would wander around as a wraith, and it was
Yeah.
crazy and stuff. And she hasn't in recent time because she's been like gone. I assume a local necromancer may have her.
Okay. Interesting.
You know a necromancer, you might be able to find out where she might have gone.
I have a feeling I know the necromancer that might actually be the reason she's gone.
I see. Well, I would ask him first because I think if you could talk to her directly, might answer more of your questions.
Okay. I did plan on meeting Azen today, but I guess I'll have to make a stop.
Ah, of
All right.
course.
Well, that's all I got. And I will end my morning. Am I in the noon? Is it morning? Noon? Technically.
You're in the
yeah,
noon now. Yeah.
Noon now. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take my noon to go visit Yormisk.
All right, you guys will you'll meet up during Yormisk. After he got the diary written by the guy, you'll have tracked him down. But I'll go to places here and learned at the thingamo. What's it? Where will go to? I'm just calcing everything real quick. Okay, let's say you arrive at Yormisk real quick.
Okay. I will knock on the door to Yormisk's place, and don't question how I found out where you live.
You knock on his door.
Hello. Hey. Damn.
Ignore it.
It's gonna take a little bit. He ignores it. Okay. All right.
Oh.
Asshole. I'm gonna wait an extra 10 minutes, and then I realize he's ignoring me and not just being his slow usual self. Okay.
You'll probably be beneficial if you announce who you were.
Ooh, what would Grant do? What would Grant do in this instance? Because he's a real petty motherfucker. But I'm not just gonna kick the door in. I gotta be extravagant about it. I also gotta
Rip the door in half.
No.
Yeah, you get to perform 3 regions in between each section of the day.
Yes. 3, not 2. Okay. I will. What's nearby me on the ground? Is there like a small twig, maybe?
There's
Small twig,
probably a
small
potted
rock?
plant in the inn. That makes sense to me.
All right, I'm going to Can I use makeshift weapons to makeshift a lock pick out of it and try to pick the lock?
Yeah, that's no problem.
Okay, I'm familiar with breaking and entering, fucker. All right.
Why would you do that? You could have just literally just said, "Hey, it's Grant," and I would just open the door.
He wasn't thinking about that. That is what it is. He thought you would be nice enough to answer.
No.
But we're gonna. What do I have to roll for this? I mean, I could fail the roll. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, roll me an Agi Dex above 70.
Agi Dex above 70. That's like decently failable. That's okay. That's pretty low chance to fail. Yeah.
You pass and you lockpick the door and it opens. In Yormisk, you feel a gust of wind as it
I do
opens.
I do not hurt the lock. I will preemptively say that. You do still get to lock the door after this. I didn't break the lock or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't a forceful entry. It was completely
No.
artisanal. It's fine.
It was fine. I enter. I'm like, look, man, it's something important. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, Yormisk. I'm sorry. I figured there's a reason you didn't answer. It's just something important. Look. Okay. So you remember the city hall mission 2 days ago?
Yes.
I will I'll cut to the chase a bit. So we found the information about the wife and the guy, and then you got their bodies, or you got one of their bodies. You got the ghost of the other one. I believe the body wasn't there, if I recall. Regardless, his wife's spirit. I was told she has important information.
Okay.
So could you please, Yormisk? I know that. Look, I did just break into your house. I get that. I get that. That's fucked up. But could you please summon her out for me?
It's okay. Come with me.
I will
Go.
follow Yormisk and
Go to the morgue room
Okay.
with the body.
Oh wait, you
And then-
have a room full of just bodies in here?
Yes.
That's interesting. That's Huh. Okay. All right.
Got the mayor right there. It's like I already summoned the mayor.
Summon the mayor. Okay. Cool.
Hello.
Oh,
He
hey.
continues writing in the diary.
Hello. Oh, you already have. Oh, you have him writing out information. Sure. That's. Hey, I like that. That's good. So, do you know you? So, you did also get the spirit of his wife when you got his body, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sick. Oh.
Would you like
So
to
I
call
did.
her? If so, roll me
Yeah.
wisdom.
Okay.
This is not failable, it's just to understand. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you call the mayor from the astral realmic area to the west and feel her spirit is tied and tethered to the nobility district, but it is stored within your bag, and you produce the call to honor her being pulled out. She comes out somewhat angry, but she does. Now, she doesn't have any body because it was obliterated, but she does come out as a wraith.
Okay, so that
Looking
whole
buttsier?
thing was non-canon about getting her body.
Okay.
Well, you could have gone into the room because it's the mayor guy's there, and you also want to call it in the same room as that. It's also away from prying eyes. It doesn't have any windows, so we can keep all that.
All right, cool. That was canon.
Oh, it's can. Okay. Can we both see her or only Yormisk?
Ghosts, I explained this before, but it wasn't during a session. So, ghosts are completely visible in this world.
Okay.
There's
Right,
no
right.
like weird like parallel plane. They can possess objects, which will effectively make them invisible. But if they're just like wandering about, they're not in an object. They just appear as a translucent being.
Okay. All right. Well, so, okay. Yeah, this is probably weird. We probably like disrupted slumber or something. Regardless, hello, Miss Lavelia.
Yes, that is my name.
So we found out some stuff pertaining to the whole situation you and your husband were dealing with. And you see the mayor over there look up, he waves and then goes back to writing.
She looks at him and she's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. Yeah, that's yeah. Yep.
What is it that you want to know, young man?
I was told that you might have some more information pertaining to the whole ordeal between you two and the stuff with the Archbishop and the City Hall and all the, the whole mess.
I see.
The whole mess.
Yes. The Archbishop was a cruel man. He blasted me with an ethereal spell and ripped my body asunder. As a way to torment my late husband. Not late at the time, but late to caring, maybe.
Ooh.
He was unfaithful.
Oh, I see. Who would ever do that? I mean, come on, that's fucked up. Great.
If
Grant
only
said,
I had married.
Puts his hand to his head.
Yeah. If only I had married Fredington instead. Old Daryl here would probably still be alive and flirting with young women in the red light district.
Yormisk, I kind of don't like that guy.
Ha 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 ha.
That's not good. Okay, all right. Fredington, I actually spoke with him recently. He's the one that told me to seek you out.
A kind man. I wish to see him
Yes.
again, but it's been dark the last 2 days.
I mean, we could maybe arrange for that.
I would prefer it, but I also would like to get my revenge.
On the Archbishop.
Yes. You could fulfill my revenge. Allow me to be there as I choke him to death. Then I will grant you a upgrade to your talent.
Me? Oh, the cursed.
The holder
Necklace
of the lover's
thing.
quarrel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bound to me.
Yes. Only you understand the fury of a woman who isn't quite happy.
Ain't that the fucking truth? Okay. I mean, we can arrange for that. What information could you give me about the Archbishop? I'm sure your husband's writing a decent amount in that diary currently, but you know.
Can't
What
tell
can
you his
you
exact
tell us?
location, but I can
I
tell
wouldn't
you
expect that, even dead.
his ethereal blast could be redirected on him if somebody was to find the apostate's mirror.
Do you have any idea where that might be?
Apostate's mirror. Quite a while ago, a spiritualist nobility had visited. He kept it as a safekeeping from the Archbishop to keep it away from people who might use it against him. I think he visited him somewhat recently. I had been hearing echoes through the nobility district days ago. But I would assume it's stuck in his vault.
Alright. Huh. Well, I guess I got a place to head to tomorrow. Alright. Well, I appreciate that, Yormisk. Do you think we would be up to the task of helping her fulfill her request to pass on?
Yes. We are sufficient enough.
Alright. Well, then you've got yourself a deal, miss. We can get you your revenge.
Perfect. And she seals herself within her former amulet, her necklace.
Oh, talking amulet.
I won't talk
Classic.
very often. She falls
I
asleep.
mean, that's valid. You can talk if you want. It's not. Don't bother me none. All right. Well, again, sorry, Yormisk. For the door. You know what? You know what? I'll give you 10 for the artisanal breaking and entering of your room.
Thanks, friend.
Of course, anytime. Anyways, I got somebody else I need to meet. They're running me around today. So, and I will head out.
All right. Let me do.
I know where I'm going next, but there are other people that probably have their
Yeah.
part of the day to take that.
I'm gonna do arts. Tariq.
Yes.
You may continue your day. What was the stuff and the things? You obtained some info on the relic
was
thing
given
and
a-
sources glove.
I was given a business card, but I forgot to write down what was on it, so I actually already forgot. So I hope you
Sorcerer's
remember.
Globe.
Right. I knew that, but I didn't. There was a specific person.
I don't think they gave a name. They just
Oh.
said that it was a person at the Sorcerer's Globe who knew the person who was contracted to make the object.
Sure. Well, then I guess we go there.
All right, you head to the Sorcerer's Globe, this high part of this town. And you enter this facility. You've been here a couple times here and there, but they know you quite well as particularly somebody who's trying to look into the corruption. The front desk clerk greets you. Ah, Tariq. I haven't seen you in a few days. Been rough out there.
Yeah, I'm surviving.
That's good to hear. Is there a reason you're here today? For some books, perhaps?
Yeah. So I was looking down at the church. There's these artifacts of Nylon.
Of
There's
course.
4 of them, and they're reproductions. And I was just wondering if anyone in Sorcerer's Globe might know how they were constructed. I've been looking into their construction.
I see. Let me check. He goes into the back and he checks some files to prove that your credentials meet the sufficient amount. He comes back and he goes, yes, take this key. Go to room 204. Upstairs.
Is that's on the 2nd floor, right?
No. This is a magically expanding tower. It's on floor 4.
I knew about that. Yeah, okay.
Alright, you go up to floor 4. Would you like to take a magical elevator for 5 gold, or would you like to roll endurance?
We're gonna roll endurance. Also, where the frick is Tali during all this?
You can roll dex for that.
I'll roll endurance first.
You do
Hopefully
not throw
that's-
up. You're good.
Why would I?
This place is magically affected by space magic, so if you go up this staircase, it makes you kind of sick.
I better fucking know where this ghost is.
You don't. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, she's right next to you. She like comes up from the floor right underneath you. She's kind of being funny about it, and you immediately recognize that she is right there, and she pulls something out of her imaginary pocket, and there's a little note, and she puts it in your hand.
I'll read the note.
The note is clearly not written by her because she can't write in the language of people, but she seems to have stolen it, and it clearly implicates a person named Tar. Tar Kual, inventor of illegal things. This guy.
Let me write this in my notes.
All right.
I'll continue up the stairs. I guess I'll ask about this individual in room 204.
You arrive at
Is
room
the hallway as
204.
long as the staircase?
It's pretty far because each hall houses loosely 50 rooms.
Mhm.
But 4 is quite close to the stairwell, so it's not too bad.
I was mainly asking if I was going to have to roll endurance again.
Oh, no. Only when you go up the stairs because they're space compression. The elevators cost money because they basically warp you through a wormhole. But the stairs don't. They make people sick. And if they're elderly, they can't even take the stairs. They'll fall off. Or they'll take mental damage. So that's just why. But yep, you arrive at room 104 outside of it.
Did you just say 104?
204. I said 104, you're correct, but I meant 204.
Okay. I was like, did I get lost?
Oh yeah, I was looking at the number 100 because that was the last thing you rolled.
Well, I guess I'll knock on the door.
You knock on the door and it opens automatically. He says, "Come in, come in. It's great meeting you again, Tariq. I don't think you caught my name. I met you at a gala."
No, I don't remember your name. No,
My name is
sorry.
Bren. With a B.
Like a loaf of bread?
That's horrible.
I'm sorry. I'll leave now.
I'm glad you're leaving now. No, I'm just kidding. Well, what is it that you need, Tariq?
Well, I've been looking into these Nylon artifact reproductions over at the church.
He starts looking through a bunch of things and he goes, yes, he brings his glasses to his eyes and he goes, order yesterday or before?
In general, actually.
Two different people worked on them.
Okay, he pulls out the note. Quay, one of them?
Yes. Argwal worked on the earlier one.
Okay, and which one was the earlier one?
That was some order by the church, some device. I wasn't in charge of the actual construction. I was just a talent.
Well, who made the other ones then?
Madam. Sorcery in town.
Oh, okay. All right. And well, I know where she's at, more or less, but where would I find this Tarqual person?
Darkwall. Let me check. He goes through more of his Rolodex of paperwork and this should be an address, and he hands you a card. He does not live in the capital. But you could take a mission out west and from the Sorcerer's Globe and probably get a 2-for-1, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Well, it was great seeing you, and remember, Bran is my name, not bread.
That's what I said, a loaf of bran.
I hate you. He closes his door on you.
Minus 15 Sorcerer's Globe reputation.
Yeah, minus 1,000. You get ejected from the facility. No, I'm just kidding. Bren's not important enough. All right. Would you like to set up your mission with Sorcerer's Globe to go west?
I guess there's a question of if I can learn anything from this Madam Sorcery character as well about the other artifacts before I do that. I should probably do that first if it wouldn't take that long.
It's fine. You can go to floor like 1,000 or whatever. Talk to her. She's in a suite.
If
You
it's
like to
floor
take
1,000,
okay.
I think I'm gonna take the elevator and not
Alright.
fucking die.
Let me tell you
5.
from experience, guy. Take the elevator.
Question. Is this... Do I have to pay 5 gold each way?
Yes.
Fuck.
Oh.
I only had 30.
Well, then you have to decide whether or not you're gonna meet her or not.
I'll do it. It's fine. I've already resigned myself to being eternally poor.
All right. You spend the money. You go up to Madame Sorcery's suite, and normally I would roll to see if she's even here, but she's here. You knock on her door.
So-
You this part kind of matters, unfortunately, how you introduce
Yeah.
yourself.
Wait, so sorry. Am I? Did
You're
you ask
outside
if
of
I-
her door, and you kind of. It matters, unfortunately, how you introduce yourself, like knocking, at revealing your title, yelling through the door, etc. All those things matter.
Well, realistically, Tariq would probably knock, so he's going to.
So you knock. How many times do you knock, by the way?
3.5.
That's really bad. But that is fine. You knock 3 harder times and 1 really soft time. And I will roll a check. She will allow that to count as 4, and she will open the door. She goes, have we met?
I don't think so. I'm Tariq.
Hmm.
And gestures in the direction he thinks Tali is. And this is my
Acquaintance,
companion.
oh, I see. You cast a light spell in your face.
Oh, that's wow! I can't see shit. Thank you.
And she's gonna roll
Is
to
there-
determine if she thinks you're handsome or not.
Yeah, she has the same gimmick as me. God damn it! I knew it. I
She
knew she was. gonna have
doesn't
the same
consider
gimmick
you
as
to
me.
be handsome. She considers that you don't do a lot of facial care, and that is why you obscure it with darkness. She's slightly
Damn.
disappointed, but lets you inside. Come in, come in. What is it that you would like to know, Tariq?
So I heard from Bran like 996 floors ago that that you worked on some reproduced Nylon relics.
I appreciate
And
that
I
you said
would-
996 floors. So Island relics. Yes, I made the most recent ones, most of which are fake. Aside from the reproduction of the gauntlet, I only somewhat worked on that, but it's whatever. It didn't need to be perfect, and it was a rush. Created them on the spot.
So yeah, they're all fake, right? How did you
Correct.
how did you know how? Where did you get the information on making them? When they were made, how many of the originals were still?
I have a reputation of 100 in Sources Globe, and so I have access to those documents.
Oh. That makes sense.
Yes. Have you heard if Grant has come back into town?
He might have. Why do you ask?
I just want to know.
I may have seen him around, yes.
Good to know. Thank you. I mean, we were asking questions here, so I just asked one back.
No, that's fine. That's understandable.
Why the fuck would he tell her, man?
Sold
Why
out.
would he tell her?
Why would he know?
Yeah, that's
See, I mean,
You're
no,
right.
I know.
No, that's correct. You're good.
Damn it.
Well, is there anything else you would like to know?
Am I? Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to know about any of the techniques involved in reproducing these relics. I guess if they're not the original relics, but yeah, I don't know. That's my indirect way of asking. Maybe I should be more assertive. How did you remake them?
I just made them using some stomach magic from an ancient tome, but it was incomplete in its procedure, and it could just create them based off of the files that I had, and they looked alright, but they weren't close to the originals in some cases. The previous person we worked with had more intimate knowledge of them and produced them in an artisanal way, but he has since been what's the word for that? A bounty has been put out on his head. Not by the Sources Globe, mind you. We don't do that. But by underhand
Yeah.
tactics.
I
Underworld
see.
tactics. I put out the bounty.
On who again? Sorry.
Tar.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess the last question I have is: do any of these reproductions work anything at all, like the relics they're reproductions of?
Yes.
Huh.
You could temporarily use the band to produce some sort of energy, though I wouldn't recommend it for long periods of time. The mask works as a mask and has opposable functionality. The gauntlet does not work as it did, but the reproduction might be able to work as a conduit to time magic. And the coin would never work that way.
Hmm.
A coin. There's only 2 of them.
Well, the coin was one of the ones I couldn't figure out how it worked, so...
Yeah, it's
All
a
right.
perfect assimilation of Sturma and Nyland's magic, so it's unlikely that it can be reproduced by mortal man.
Well, that makes sense. Thank you for your time. And also, what was with the light thing in my face? You know, I wear this hood for a reason.
Well, I wanted to look at the person who wanted to enter my abode.
Hmm.
Is that too odd?
I suppose not. I just, I feel like my privacy was a little bit violated there.
And you entered my private domicile.
I guess that's true, I did. Fuck! She thought of everything!
Well, as
She
a
always does, man. Fuck.
as an apology, I will help you out. And she teleports you to the bottom floor.
Tariq is confused by this and trips over his own feet.
All right. Trip over and catch yourself before taking any stamina damage, but you still fall to the ground.
So I guess... Well, I probably should have asked already how strong this Tar guy was, if there's a bounty on his head.
He's not particularly strong, he just makes things. The artifacts he might have might be kind of strong, but that's hard to gauge.
I mean, if he's a guy who invents stuff, I feel like it'd be better to not make an enemy of him anyway. He's probably more useful to me. Even if whatever this alleged bounty is, it's probably better to keep him alive for Tariq specifically. Unless, there's a world where he could become a problem, but right now it seems like. So, aside from the fact that Tariq now feels self-conscious about the way that Madame Sorcery was looking at him, and desperately feels a need to clean the rather unkempt facial hair he probably has, I guess now is a good time to go find a quest in the area where Tar is.
Sorcerer's Globe gives you a quest to deliver a hand-wrapped scroll that's sealed on both ends so that they can tell if it was opened to the Psycho Enclave, which is west of here, where it produces the results of which both Tar and this scroll need to be. It needs to be delivered to the Psycho Chief, and he is gold in color. And that is what they give you. You may depart as early as your convenience. The train ride always takes 24 hours exactly, so when you leave in the day matters for when you arrive the next day.
Okay. I guess my only question is if there's something I can do on the train. Like, even if it was as simple as get a book that I can read that will teach me something about something.
You can read books on the train, yeah. They won't produce like any skills or anything unless your skill points kind of facilitate that in theory. But if they just have information about a specific type of thing you want to know about, like if you're like worried about, I don't know, psycho traditions or the monsters near the Psycho Enclave, like very specific things like that, you can find books on them, and that's important. You just had to spend money on the actual books themselves, but you can rent them from the Sorcerer's Globe with your reputation.
That seems beneficial. I guess I'd like to know about psycho culture more so I can navigate that, because, yeah.
Add rented psycho culture book, and then when you go back to the Sorcerer's Globe, it's assumed that you get rid of it.
Sure.
And that sounds good. We're running low on time, so I will do some last minute stuff to get everybody caught up on anything that they're planning to do, so I can pre-set it up. So, I know Quay afternoon. I'm gonna place this here to make this easy on me. And then I'm going to, let's see here. And then it's art, train in night enclave, and then Grant. What is Grant doing?
Oh, for my afternoon, I'm gonna go talk to Azin, and then at night, I'm gonna take the train to the spiritualist place.
Okay, I'll write that down for notes for me. And then, what about Iris and Borach? What do you plan to do for your noons?
Well, I was gonna talk to Qford and Borach, so.
Okay, I'll do that the last part of this roleplay. Okay, so you guys. Okay. Perfectly fine. All right, so we go back over here. And we arrive at the spiritualist town. And, you know, Borach had just freshly woken up after Iris had come back from this journey. Pretty tired, but she didn't get into any more scuffles. And Borach, you know, you've hit the noon. You've slept an extra good chunk of hours and got an extra sleep stack if you didn't already put it down. And, you know, you decide to get up.
He yawns, scratching his face. Some fleas come out of that scratch and gets up, kind of wondering, wish there was some booze. And then I guess he just walks out.
He walks out of the inn. As you walk out of this residential district, you see Iris, who's kind of like just arrived at the entrance to this district.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Good morning.
Oh. Yeah.
Or just morning, I suppose.
You're the, what's your name again? Eerie, right?
Sure. Quick
Yeah.
question.
What's up?
Before you go, is it? I heard from someone back in the city that you're looking for your father, the one that was betrayed and things like that.
So you heard about the fucking piece of shit too, huh?
Well, I don't know much about him, but I did wonder what kind of person he was, and
He's a fucking asshole. End of
good
story.
to note. All right. Do you plan on going into the Misty Woods, perchance? By destroying those objects?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get Q I guess Qford. So I was trying to get him to figure that out, and we gotta go travel. I fucking hate traveling, but yeah, when I tag along, is that why you're asking?
Only if you don't mind.
Yeah, why not? You know, we need all the
Thank
help
you.
we can get.
All right, thank you.
Hey, while we at it, you know where I can get any booze with some special effects, if you catch my drift?
I don't know exactly. I've only just come to town, and I went out to investigate the wall. But I can search with you if you'd like.
Yeah. Figured I might as well get some different type of booze. Always drink the damn same thing.
Maybe stock up.
I like it when they, make it right when you're there, I don't like that fucking, just, you're able to
The
just
waiting.
store it away. Yeah, that.
That makes sense.
Speaking of Qford, have you seen him?
Yes, he's at his stand. I was actually going to talk to him myself as well.
Okay, well, yeah, might as well.
All right, you both arrive at Qford's stand. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey. So, You trying to get some booze, man? I'm actually trying to look for some different type of booze. Since you've been here the longest, you know where we can get some.
Depends on what you want to pay, or depends on what you want to impress. If you want the best, it's at the ferry park.
Is that right?
Yeah, might have to impress a ferry or two, but I'm sure you could.
Ferry? Oh, man, that sounds like a fucking headache.
Maybe worth it, though.
Yeah, if I have the patience for that.
Worst
feel
case,
like
you
it.
can get Iris to win it over.
Good try. Why not?
If you want to knock yourself out, I'm not that pressed for this anyway.
I'm curious for sure.
Where's the fucking ferries at then?
Ferry Park Southwest. Right here in
Okay.
town.
Okay.
Before we head off, I did have a quick question, Buford, for you.
Of course. What's up?
That mirror on your watch. How does that exactly work? Is it just for, like, the one person, or can it see other things? Other people?
It's complicated, but basically it's a tool. Not specific to us psychos, per se.
Huh.
It's a set of nanobots.
That's interesting.
Oh, right. That's... yeah.
You got
Sorry.
any other weird things up your belt, man?
Plenty, actually.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, he flourishes a couple cards, and when he goes to pull a card out, he flips it, and it turns into like a little gadget.
Oh.
And then the gadget kind of rolls up his arm and curls around like a bracelet.
Oh, wow. And
he
what does that
snaps
one
his
do?
fingers, and it draws a flame. And he lights a cigarette with it. And then he throws the beads back into his pocket. And takes a drag of the cigarette, and then pushes the two
Whatever,
ends
dude.
between his hands, and the cigarette disappears.
Whatever.
What the hell is wrong with you, man? I gotta get up on this shit. Yeah. You still plan on coming with us to the... What was the fucking district again? Both the damn districts that motherfucker said.
Yeah, I believe it's the inventors
very
and the
far?
submerged.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Submerged.
well, we got Erie over here joining us, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. She seems useful enough.
Thank
No
you.
offense. Of
Oh,
course.
no, I understand.
All right,
Okay.
well, see if you can win yourself a game with the fairies and get a pint or so.
You sure you don't want any
Sounds-
booze, man?
I'm working for a little bit longer, but a little bit later in the day, I'll be there for you.
Suit yourself. Some good fucking beer. Come on, Erie, let's go.
Sounds good.
All right, you may head down to the fairies park. There, a bunch of jovial fairies want you to play them in a game, and if you win, they will award you.
Okay. So how does this game work?
Yeah,
Well, you
what do we have to
see,
do?
You guys must skip the rocks across the river, and if you hit all of the little spots, the fairies will sing out in unison, and you'll win yourself a prize.
I don't like her voice. I look at Erie. Are we sure we want to do this? This sounds annoying.
Well, it's up to you. I'm good either way.
Quick little decks will get you across. Then you'll
It might be
meet
fun.
Dex.
with some drink.
Okay. Why not?
My younger sister was very good at this. Skipping rocks, I mean. She is very good at it.
Can't be that hard. It's just a bunch of fucking rocks.
Right? Yeah, we can do this.
Borach skips the
Dude,
rock
he's
perfectly
like that.
across. and the fairy's stunned. It's like, let's see if your friend can
What?
do it, but you definitely get the reward. I just want to see if she can too.
Dude,
Sorry, what am I rolling again?
Roll Dex.
Dex. Oh, okay.
No,
Well,
it's just a fucking rock,
we'll
so then he just does
see.
it. Just fucking
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't quite get to the third one, but it knocks the first two, and the fairy, like, it calms down a bit. Like, it's just glad that the game is working. And so it's like, whew. Oh, well, congratulations! And it pulls out a little thing, and it hands it to the bigger fairies, and it pours you a fairy ale. A pint of fairy ale.
Dude, he's just a douchebag.
Are these fairies like the classic tiny ones, or are they look different?
These fairies, so there are fairies that exist in like the magical particle sense, and those are really small and colored fairies, and they're plant-like in nature. They wear like leaf-like dresses and have colored hair. And then there are these fairies which are a bit bigger. They're closer to the fairy from like a Celtic sense, so something closer to a dwarf.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, like gnomes. But these are, you know, feminine gnomes, essentially.
All right.
damn.
At least the ones operating the alcohol. The one operating the game is a smaller fairy.
I'll take this. I have a good feeling we can... Well, I guess I'll save it for the right time.
Well, great to hear, and if you ever come back, bring her.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Why?
Well, you know, it you know, it's
It is just
it's
kind of odd
important.
request
It's like part of the ritual, you know.
to bring. What?
Whatever, let's leave these weird-ass fairies.
Sure.
Dude, they're scamming people.
They are. They really tried to scam people, and it didn't work out with Iris. They're like, oh, it does work. He's not cheating, right? Like, they're just scared he was cheating, but she rolled and it worked, and they're like, okay, he didn't break the game. As long as he didn't break the game, we can give him like a little ticket. We win 80% of the time. It's fine.
Wow. It's crazy.
All right. So you guys, you have a great little mini game, and you make off and come back with Shuford, who has recently obtained a little bit of something. He kind of ends off the session with a little bit of a story. And he says,
Oh.
It appears that they looked through all the wreckage and they didn't trace it back to anybody in particular. Pretty odd. It winks his eye at the two of you. But, you know, he lost a couple things, not including the stuff we grabbed. So, he slides an item forward. And it appears to be a shield that deflects ethereal blasts.
Oh, blimey. That's crazy.
Interesting.
As well, you know, as long as you bring this to the other devotees or something, whoever you trust to get the mission done, I'm sure they won't need us much. But I'll be going along with you tonight. We can take a train over to the capital and then take that train wherever you guys would prefer.
All right.
Sound like a good plan?
Yeah, that works.
Fantastic. Well, I'll see you later today. And he does a flourish of his hand and transitions the camera into the face of a card. It turns into a Joker, and we descend into madness as the session ends. Any final words for anybody?
You know, Hey, don't do anything to piss off women who can use magic. Is what I'd say.
Good point.
That's a pretty bad thing to do.
Maybe a little.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for watching. Have a great one. Peace.